Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in Sunday Morning Murder Church. Here we are. Let's do it. Got a few hours here in front of us. Let's see what we can get into this morning. Hit the like, give it a share, all the good things, and let's go.
I get my hair out of my face while I'm doing this.
Therefore, these proceedings are now
putting somebody who was raped.
Let's rock.
Hello, everybody. What's up? What's up? What's up? Morning. Good morning. Morning. I made it. I ain't even that late. Just a little bit. Just a little late. Just good. That's what I was looking for. That's what we're doing. My hood makes it make my head look weird in this. What's up, everybody? Good morning. I need to get this in here so we can see the beautiful people that have joined us this morning. Hope everyone's had a good Christmas. I know I've been saying that. We're getting ready to go into the new year now. When is the new year? It is on Thursday's the new year, so I've got like one vacation day left I've got to take this week, so I'm probably going to take it on the 31st. Then have to come back for Friday. See how that works out. But yeah, we got a new year approaching. Just a Crazy Jen coming in saying, good morning, Steve and friends. Good morning. Pammy. Boom, Pammy hit me up last night or yesterday with the Cash App. $26. And she was sad that she had missed the Crown Royal party. And I'm sad that you missed any kind of drinking party that I've had. I was drinking a little bit on Feral Friday this past week. And that $26, that gets you into the will. We are only one name away from finishing a will, folks. We've been working on this will for a little bit of time now. But we're right there. If we get one more name on that will, we will give it a spin this morning and give away some goodies. Probably be the last one of the year. Welcome in, everybody. Pammy, soon, though. Very soon. You'll have to come in and hang for a hardcore. It wasn't even hardcore. I wasn't hardcore drinking by any means, but drinking a little bit. A little something in the cup. LS, what's up? Good morning, all. Watching on my TV. So I just popped in the chat to say, hey. Hope you're having a good morning. Sunday morning. Bassett Page, thank you for that share. Just saw you share this out on X as well. Thank you very much. Stu, nice. Little stew, perfect for right now. It's actually been weirdly warm here. Like Christmas here was like 60. Yesterday was like 65 here. Very strange. Very strange. Simi Sharp in the house. Saw her come through here this morning, hanging out early. Tina, what's up? What's up? Making sure I'm not missing anybody. I don't think that I am. I see the beautiful emojis in the chat as well, which is awesome. And, Salty Sleuth, good morning. I hope you had a good Christmas, Salty, and Happy New Year approaches as well. And there we go. That's how you finish off the year. Strong and getting a lot of beautiful people. Thank you, LS, for getting a lot of beautiful people into the book club. That's what I'm talking about. So not only did you finish the will, you helped a lot of people join the book club. So hell yeah, that finishes out our will in insane fashion. Let's just be real. That's incredible. If I can use my fingers here to type, that would be even better. Here we go. Boom. That finishes out a will. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see who gets the opportunity. Every Tuesday after a regular show, we have a book club. We're currently reading Mindhunter. Let's see who gets in there, or has the opportunity to get in there. Crystal DeSaro, welcome in. Brooklyn, fuck yeah. Brooklyn's always awesome. Welcome in. Sarah, aspiring court reporter, welcome back. The Spitfire Dragon, welcome back in here as well. And Young Black Economist, everybody, welcome in with your gifted memberships. Thank you again, LS. Absolutely unbelievable and amazing. Thank you. That's really cool. Getting our numbers back up there. That's what I'm talking about. All those folks have access to the best emojis on YouTube, including this one right here, which is the current judge of the trial that we're watching with Aileen Wuornos. We were bragging on you on Salty's last night. What were y'all talking about? I don't believe it. It was probably something bad. It was probably negative, but I love you guys nonetheless. That's awesome. Dude, I don't know what's happening, man. I like it, honestly. I mean, I don't like the super duper cold. We had a couple of weeks back, we had 0. We had snow after snow after snow. So I don't know what's going on. I'm sure it won't last. I'm sure we'll be back in the 20s before we know it. Looking in here, but yeah, let's get her going. I think we started out last week on the investigator, Lawrence Horzepa. Got an hour into him. We got an hour and a half starting out this morning with him, and then we should be able to get into some of this the confession tapes. There's 2 of them. I don't know how exactly long they are. And then after that, I believe it'll probably go into next Sunday when we get Aileen Wuornos actually on the stand herself. So yeah, let's keep on rocking and rolling, and let's dig in here. See what we get. See what we get. Lousy singing. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Morning, Teresa. Get in here. I'll sing all the time. I just don't know. It's just unpredictable. You never know when it may happen. Sometimes I just get some episodes I don't stop singing. Sometimes I can't stop singing my sentences. I have a problem. I have a real issue with singing. I always have, dude. When jobs I would work at, I've never been really get too embarrassed about anything. I always just kind of been like, this? And dude, the jobs I'd work, especially restaurant jobs back in the day, I'm making my shit. I worked at Subway. I would be singing, making subs to the customers, dude. Like, if I'm in the mood to sing, we're going to be having a concert. All right, let's get in here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
Men in general, or the men that you and Sergeant Munster were asking her about?
I'm saying general.
The very next line she says, when they got really huffy with me, which I had gone over 250,000 men. That's what the transcript says, right?
Yes, sir.
So she's distinguishing between those who are about to rape her and the other 200 some odd thousand, right?
Yes, sir.
She didn't talk about they were trying to rape me in reference to 200 some odd thousand men, right?
No, sir.
And then right after that she says, that's because they got rough with me and I defended myself.
That's correct.
Who was she making reference to there?
6 guys.
Same 6 guys that she mentioned when she said, and I wasn't about to let somebody rape me either, right?
No, sir, I don't believe so.
Okay, you draw a distinction there. That's because they got rough with me and I defended myself.
All sane. Welcome in here. 1992, maybe, I think.
That, however, you have no question was in reference to the folks that you talked to Mr. Tanner about, right?
Yes, sir.
This time and the last time you testified.
Yes, sir.
Including Mr.
You really
Allen.
never know.
Yes, sir.
Did you or Sergeant Munster ask her at that point, tell me specifically who are you talking about?
No, sir.
Did you or Sergeant Munster ask her at that point, what do you mean getting rough with you?
When I hear Sergeant Munster, I'm only picturing Herman Munster. I don't know about you guys, but I'm picturing Herman Munster on an episode of The Munsters has, probably every episode of The Munsters is like is its own thing, basically. Like, you don't need to follow like a continuous story. Ultimately, it's always the family getting into something, and this would have been Herman Munster becoming a detective.
No, sir.
Did you or Sergeant Munster ask her at that point, what do you mean defending yourself?
No, sir, because she'd asked for an attorney.
The very next line she says is, I just want to clear this, I just want to get all this out in the open, right?
Yes, sir.
I want to clear it, and I want to clear my girlfriend because she's not involved.
That's correct.
On the next page, same tape, page 7, she says, most of the times I was drunk. Right?
Yes, sir.
She says, because I'll admit I'm an alcoholic. Remember that?
Yes, sir.
I mean, 24 hours a day I was drunk, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you or Sergeant Munster ask her which person she's saying these things in reference to?
No, sir.
You said a few minutes ago she said something about she had asked for an attorney?
That's correct.
Can you check the next question Sergeant Munster asks?
He states here what he said.
What did he say, right?
That's correct.
He doesn't stop questioning and go, oh, wait, we're waiting for an attorney, does he?
Mr. Munster makes that statement based on what Ms. Moore had said one line earlier.
Ms. Wuornos.
I'm sorry, Ms. Wuornos had said one line earlier.
Okay.
I believe it caught him off guard, and that's...
So he heard what she told him, and he asked her a follow-up question. Right?
No, sir, I think it just... that particular line that she said, it caught him off guard, and he had a reflex action as far as that.
What's the very next thing Sergeant Munster says on the next page?
A response to...
I tried to get AI to generate a picture of Herman Monster as a detective, and it did okay. I wish it would have done. I could actually probably do a face swap and make it better, but here's what we got. Herman Munster as a detective. It's not bad. I'm going to see if I can do a face swap on it and make it better.
Ms. Wuornos, where she says that I see the tape still going, and he says yes it did.
And then Sergeant Munster says two other things on page 9.
Yes, sir.
In none of those pages, 7, 8, or 9, do you or Sergeant Munster tell Ms. Wuornos to stop until a lawyer shows up, right?
I know in one time here, Mr. Sergeant Munster advises her that maybe she shouldn't be talking. I don't know if it's on these particular pages or not.
Okay, but it's not on those pages, right?
No, sir.
Later on, an attorney showed up.
Yes, sir.
That attorney, by the way, is not one of the three of us, right?
No, sir.
And that attorney advised Ms. Wuornos that she should not talk to you and Sergeant Munster.
That's correct.
And she refused his advice.
That's correct.
She told him, and actually it's unclear from the transcript itself, but she's talking to yourself and Sergeant Munster and the attorney and saying that she wants to clear Ms. Moore and she wants to tell you guys what was going on. Right?
Yes, sir.
And then she proceeded to do that.
Yes, sir.
And you testified on direct examination about Miranda rights being read and being waived and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
At that point, after she did those things, did you ask her, Lee, what did you mean by most of the times I was drunk? Because I'll admit, I'm an alcoholic. I mean, 24 hours a day I was drunk. Did you or Sergeant Munster ever ask her, what did you mean by that?
No, sir.
Did you or Sergeant Munster ask her, after the lawyer showed up, what did you mean by, that's because they got rough with me and I defended myself?
What page is that, sir?
That was on page 6.
Tape 2?
Take 1.
It did a little better. Like, it's at least looks a little bit dumber. Like, you know, you kind of want that dumb Herman face on there. Still not perfect, though, but not terrible.
Tape 1?
Towards the bottom, we looked at it a few minutes ago.
No, sir.
Never asked her to explain those things, right?
No, sir.
You never asked her to explain what she meant by defending herself with Mallory, right?
When she spoke about Mr. Mallory's homicide, she never gave me any specifics about what Mr.
Get a
Mallory
wheel going here.
had done.
She said,
Give away
I
some
was
goodies this morning.
defending myself in this portion.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever ask her, who were you defending yourself with?
No, sir.
Did you ever ask her, what did you mean by defending yourself?
No, sir.
Did you ever ask her, what were you defending yourself against?
No, sir.
On page 7, towards the top, Ms. Wuornos says, I have to say it. that I killed them because they got violent with me, and I decided to defend myself. I wasn't going to let them beat the shit out of me or kill me either. You recall her saying that?
Yes, sir.
At any point, after
Oh, man, I
the
forgot
lawyer shows
them.
up and all that stuff with the lawyer happens,
Just
did
check.
you or Sergeant Munster ever ask her, what did you mean by that? What did you mean by they got violent with me?
No, sir.
Did you or Sergeant Munster ever ask her, who are you talking about when you say they got violent with me?
No, sir.
Did you or Sergeant
Got a
Munster
will
ever
ready
ask
to
her,
go.
what was going on in your head? What did you perceive that made you think they were getting violent with you?
No, sir.
Did you or Sergeant Munster ever ask her, when she says now for the third or fourth time, I decided to defend myself, who are you making reference to when you say that?
No, sir.
She did say, I wasn't going to let them beat the shit out of me or kill me, right?
Counsel, you cross the bench.
He was trying to screw me in the ass and stuff, and then there's a pause. Sergeant Munster says, what did he say? And she says he was going to try to, pause, anal screw, you know, anal screw, or whatever you call it. So I started fighting with him, and I got to my bag, and I shot him. And then when I shot him the first time, he just backed away, and she goes on. Who's she talking about there?
I don't know, sir. It wasn't about Mallory.
How do you know it was not about Mallory?
Because when we started talking about Mallory, and I asked her to give me all the information, and I asked her in the sequence what happened next, she never described to me any type of attack that Mallory might have attempted on.
Did you or Sergeant Munster ask her who you were talking about in this regard?
No, sir.
When you were talking about Mallory with her, did you ask her about fears of anal sex or anything like that, you yourself?
No, sir. I asked her what happened each step of the way, and she had given me 2 versions.
You remember a few days ago you testified and Ms. Jenkins cross-examined you.
That's correct.
And you remember talking, you had a little synopsis with reference to Mallory?
Yes, sir.
One of the, what you call versions relating to Mallory appears on page 7 of the transcript of tape 1, does it not? If you could just look at your synopsis. You make reference to page 7 of the transcript in your synopsis.
Yes, sir.
And what we're just talking about now regarding anal sex and regarding I started fighting with him and regarding Ms. Wuornos' fear is on page 7 of the transcript.
Yes, sir, but it's not the part that I show is where she's relating to all the victims.
I'm sorry?
That's not the part where I show as far as where I had for page 7 on the witness on elimination for all the victims. That was underneath that where it started, where if the guy lives, he's going to tell on me and I'm going to get it for attempted murder and all this jazz.
Okay. But with regard to what I was just asking you about, does Ms. Wuornos use anybody's name?
No, sir.
Do you use anybody's name?
No, sir.
Does Sergeant Munster use anybody's name?
No, sir.
And nobody asked her if that was Mallory that she was talking about?
No, sir.
Later on, a little bit lower on page 7, she says, the stupid bastard would have killed me, so I kept shooting. Recall that part?
Yes, sir.
You indicated that was in reference to Mallory, right?
That was a generic as far as all the, I felt was all the victims.
So she felt all the victims would have killed her. That's what you felt, that she believed all the victims would have killed her.
Yes, sir, in her mind.
Objection as to the frame of the question, Your Honor, and ask it to be reconstruction. Go ahead.
On page 8, the line starting with inaudible, right towards the middle of the page. Ms. Wuornos says, I would hitchhike. A guy would pick me up, and I'd ask him if they were interested in helping me out because I'm trying to make rent money, you know. And then they'd say, how much? And I'd say, 30 for head, 35 for straight, 40 for half and half, 100 an hour. And then, you know, then they'd say, well, I'll take this or whatever, and then now, and then there's a space. I'm telling you, I've dealt with 100,000 guys, but these guys are the only guys that gave me a problem. And they started giving me a problem and there's a space, and it goes on this year. Do you recall her saying that?
Yes, sir.
That's consistent with what you mentioned a moment ago, that Ms. Wuornos' perception was that she was defending herself with these particular guys.
Yes, sir.
What is half and half? Is that like half a blowski, half fucking? I'm gonna Google it.
On page 9, the line starting with myself.
Googling this isn't good.
Slightly down the page. Ms. Wuornos says, I still say that it...
I nailed it. Sexual term. Half and half describes a sexual encounter typically with a prostitute, during which half of the encounter is spent having vaginal intercourse and the other half is having oral sex.
It was in self-defense because most of them either were going to start to beat me up or were going to screw me in the ass, and they'd be rough with me, so I'd fight them and I'd get them away from me. And then as I'd get them away, I'd run to the front of the car and jump over the seat or whatever and grab my gun. Do you recall her saying that?
Yes, sir.
Did you or Sergeant
As
Munster
soon as I Googled it, I was like, well, fuck.
ask her anything specifically when you heard that?
No, sir.
Sergeant Munster just says yes, is the next thing he says later in the page.
Yes, sir.
Then on that same page, Ms. Wuornos reiterates that the only reason she's confessing has to do with Ms.
Ask your significant other for a half and half later. Be like, I was looking for a little bit of the old half and half. I was just gonna... All right, no, that ain't go over well.
Yes, sir.
Hell, ask
On
a
page
hooker. I don't
11,
care.
Ms. Wuornos
Do
is
whatever you
talking
want.
to Sergeant Munster.
Oh my, that's
She
hilarious.
says she's glad she's getting this over with towards the bottom of the page. She talks about getting herself straight with God, and then she says, but when I get drunk, like I said, I'd be drinking with these guys, and when they start messing with me, I would never hurt nobody, but if they messed with me, then I have to say I'd get just as violent as they would get on me to try to protect myself. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
The very next word you say to Ms. Wuornos is, okay, right?
Yes, sir.
You did not ask her what did she mean by getting violent with me, right?
I believe when I said okay, they were getting ready to take Miss Munster to the bathroom, and
Okay.
some people were coming in. I wasn't saying an okay to her statement.
So you weren't even responding to her statement.
I was listening to it, but like I said, she had asked for a lawyer, so I was asking her no questions.
Did you ask her at any point after all the lawyer stuff about what did she mean by trying to protect myself? Did you ever say, Lee, what did you mean when you said try to protect myself?
No, sir.
Oh my God, yeah. Thanks. $5 for the sheer fact that we're thinking about half and half and Sergeant Herman Munster at 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning. $5 from Just a Crazy Gin, starting a brand new wheel. Really appreciate that. And like I said, I've got a wheel here ready to go as soon as this video ends, which will be another minute or so. We got an hour and a half with this gentleman. But hell yeah. Thank you so much, Jen. I appreciate that. Yeah. It'll get a little wild here on Publicly Buzzed every once in a while. On the second channel, on WrestlePlunge, I got a new video dropping today at 4:45 Eastern. And then, of course, I've got a live there tonight at 6. But a brand new video, and the same thing applies to all videos on there. And even the last video that I dropped that I ended up taking down, anybody that came through and I saw comments on there, those names will get carried over. And those possible people, or those people will be on the new list as well if you help me out on the new video for a free t-shirt. So,
Sergeant Munster.
No, sir.
thank you so much, Jim.
And you've already testified you asked her a whole bunch of things, however.
Yes, sir.
And so did Sergeant Munster.
Yes, sir.
page 14, Ms. Wuornos says, towards the middle of the page, Sergeant Munster says, excuse me, and maybe you shouldn't be saying these things to me, referring to an attorney, right? You guys were waiting for an attorney at the time. And Ms. Wuornos says, I don't understand. Aren't you people attorneys too or anything? Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
You answered no, ma'am, to that. We're investigators.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Did she tell you to leave when you told her you were not attorneys?
No, sir.
She wanted to cooperate with you.
Yes,
even
sir.
after this, right? On page 15, same statement. Ms. Wuornos, middle of the page, Ms. Wuornos says, yeah, I know that I have to defend myself because if I didn't, he probably would have hurt me, killed me, raped me, or whatever. Because I'm telling you, I'm serious. I've gone through at least 200.
I mean, I can't. Like, the resemblance is too much between the judge and Chet from Weird Science. It's the same person.
50,000 guys in my life at least, and never heard any of them. Matter of fact, I became very good friends with them, you know, and they
They didn't even have to make the suit for the movie. They could have got this man to be the actor.
really liked me. Who is she talking
He
about?
missed his
there?
calling.
I think
I know
that's,
that I have to defend myself because if I didn't, and so on and so forth.
I think, again, that's another generic statement.
So she's making these generic statements, and in none of them are you and Sergeant Munster asking her who she's talking about, right?
No, sir.
And in none of them are you and Sergeant Munster asking her what is going through her head that made her perceive herself as being threatened and wanting to defend herself, right?
No, sir.
On page 17, at the bottom of the page, this is after a public defender, Mr. O'Neill, was it? Was Mr. O'Neill, right?
That's correct.
Mr. O'Neill appears, and he advises Ms. Wuornos that she should not provide statements, and she says that she's willing to do that.
He's on his way down at that particular...
He's on his way down, you're right, you're right. And at the bottom of the page, he says, I just want to get it over with. But
Of
I'm
course,
really
as soon as I move him up
But
there.
I'm really honest. I'm being as honest as I can be. I would not hurt them. I have gone to bed with so many men, I mean, and then she goes on and tells some stories about her past experiences with men, right?
Yes, sir.
And she then goes on and see, I wouldn't have not hurt nobody unless I had to. Then the only reason I did it is because I had to. And yes, we were drinking, and yes, I was drunk, but, and there were times these guys weren't even drunk. You recall her saying that?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever ask her, Lee, what do you mean by unless I had to?
No, sir.
I'm sorry?
No, sir.
Did Sergeant Munster?
No, sir.
She goes on in that same paragraph, I was drunk, so they were going to take advantage of me because I was a lit, you know, so that's the only reason I did anything, that I did because I knew I had to do something. Did you or Sergeant Munster ever ask her, Lee, what do you mean when you say I had to do something?
No, sir.
Did you or Sergeant Munster ever ask her, who are you talking about at this point?
No, sir.
She then goes on, because if I didn't, they would have beat the shit out of me and probably found my gun and shot me, or beat the shit out of me and took off, or beat the shit out of me and raped me and take off.
Excuse me, I lost you, Mr. Knowles. What page were you on?
I'm sorry, page 18.
Tape one.
Take one. You know, I don't know, those things were going through my head. So Lee told you and Sergeant Munster that these are the things that were going through her head, right?
Yes, sir.
Did either one of you ever ask her why? Why were these things going through your head when you were with
That
these fellas?
sneeze.
No, sir. Like I said, I was waiting for the lawyer.
I'm sorry?
I was waiting for the lawyer to come.
Later, after the lawyer, did you ever ask her, Lee, why were these things going through your head?
I asked her again in reference to Mr. Mallory. She told
Oh, sweet. Bassett Page put that stew recipe in the Discord. I appreciate that. I'm going to check that out right now. Oh, my God. And above that is an insane house made of pepperoni and cheese and all kinds of crazy shit from Shelly. Pokemon. What the fuck? I'm going to get a picture of this. This was posted in the Discord by Shelly, by Pokemon. Look at this craziness. Oh, my God. There's broccoli on here. Holy crap. Damn, it's like a cheese ball, right? Holy shit, it's like the craziest cheese ball ever. Well, that's amazing. And yeah, I'm going to check out this one pot beef stew that Bassett put in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, you should be in the Discord. You're probably all in there already. Saying we got a new person in the chat this morning. If they would like to join here, a lot of cool stuff in the old Discord. We'll check this out. Oh, not all of it. Hold on. Bob, give me that over here.
Told me she was going to tell the entire truth about the incident. She gave me the entire incident as she told it, and during that time, she gave me no information as far as any type of an attack that Mr. Mallory may have produced on him.
You asked her some questions about Mallory, and she answered them.
That's correct.
Among those questions, did you ever ask her, why were these things going through your head?
No, sir.
Among those questions, was there ever the question, were you drinking at the time? How much? What? Where? When? How?
Objection on repetitious ask and objection.
Never asked her those things, right?
Objection, ask and answer.
Never asked her about self-defense in reference to Mallory. You never asked her, were you defending yourself with Mallory? Right?
No, sir.
Never asked her, what made you think you needed to defend yourself with Mallory? Right? What went through your head that triggered that? Never asked her that.
She told me that he was, the two versions. The one was that...
That's not my question. My question is, did you ever ask her what made you think you were defending yourself with Mallory?
If Your Honor, please, I would respectfully ask the witness to be allowed to fully answer the question and certainly explain his answer if necessary.
Did you ever ask her what made you think you needed to defend yourself with Mallory? That question.
No, sir.
On page 20, Ms. Wuornos says, I have to admit, I'm scared about all this. I mean, I'm very scared. You recall her saying that?
Yes, sir.
And she says, I wouldn't have confessed if it wasn't for the fact that I don't want my girlfriend involved. You recall her saying that?
Yes, sir.
That's consistent with what we testified a while ago.
Sounds pretty
Throughout
easy,
the
really.
statement, she was
Sounds good, too.
exhibiting an intent to clear Ms. Moore.
Yes, sir.
Oh, then bake it. Well, okay.
On page 21, towards the bottom of the page, Ms. Wuornos says,
Sounds
oh, you
really
guys
good.
really, you can put me under hypnosis. You can take a lie detector test. Do whatever.
I'm just making whatever Bassett Page makes on Sundays. That's essentially what's happening. Welcome in here, Austin. Hell yeah, love it.
Whatever you can to make me show you that Ty does not know, and then she goes on. You recall her saying that?
Yes, sir.
Again, that exhibits an intent to clear Ms. Moore, right?
Yes, sir.
On page 23, middle of the page, Ms. Wuornos says, I wish I never, ever hooked, and I wish I never would have met these guys. You recall that?
Yes, sir.
Did you or Sergeant Munster ask her why she said that? She wished she had never met these guys?
No, sir.
At the bottom of that paragraph, and that, by the way, this paragraph, we won't go through the whole thing, but on page 23, there's another one of these rambling paragraphs, right, where she's talking about various incidents, her past, her telephone conversations with Ms. Moore, all sorts of different things in there. All right, it's another example of that, basically. Right?
Yes, sir.
It's another rambling thing. At the bottom of that paragraph, she says, you almost killed me. You almost raped me. You almost beat the shit out of me. So, you know, that's how I have to look at it. I have to look at it that way, too. So I can't really say, and she goes on. You recall that?
Yes, sir.
Who was she talking about there?
Again, I believe it was generic.
She then goes on page 24, full paragraph at the bottom. You know, I know that these guys, one guy had a weapon with him. He had a .45. You recall that?
Yes, sir.
Who was she talking about there?
It was Mr. Karskanen.
Did Ms. Wuornos say this is Mr. Karskanen?
No, sir.
How do you know it's Mr. Karskanen?
Based on the information from the,
Could thank Simi Sharp in the chat for this one. She actually found Herman Munster with a spyglass. She posted that on Discord. And we've got our detective. We've got Detective Munster. Officially. On screen.
homicide.
So she mentioned that there was one of these people she was defending herself against was a guy with a .45.
Yes, sir.
And from your knowledge of the Karskanen case, you pieced together that that would have been Mr. Karskanen.
Yes, sir.
He's our guest today.
So in reference to this situation, you did not need to ask her who she was talking about because you figured it out later, right?
Again, I didn't ask her anything in reference to this because of the request of the lawyer.
I'm sorry?
I did not ask her anything in reference to this or any others because of the request of the lawyer.
Later, did you ask her, who's this guy with the .45 you're talking about?
Later on, the Karskanen homicide was reviewed by Investigator Munster.
Did Ms. Wuornos ever say to Investigator Munster, yeah, Karskanen, I remember that name?
No, sir.
She said the guy with the .45.
Yes, sir.
And you pieced that together and you figured out who she was talking about.
Yes, sir.
Did you do that with reference to all of these statements here about self-defense and drinking and all of that kind of stuff? Did you go back and piece those together and figure out who she was talking about there, other than this generic?
Yes, sir. She didn't know the names of the victims.
So those statements relate to some of these, to these fellas, but you did not piece who she's talking about. You're not pinning that down like you did with Karskanen, right?
I'm sorry, I lost me.
I'll rephrase it. On tape 2, page 5, Ms. Wuornos, middle of the page, says, all right, he asked me if I wanted to smoke a joint, and I said, well, I don't really smoke pot. He said,
Excuse me, Your Honor, we're on page 2 now?
page 5, tape 2.
I'm sorry, tape 2?
Tape 2.
Your Honor, I would object to the methodology. It is not consistent. And I would object that you simply ask a question, ask the witness if he can answer the question, and proceed from there.
Fair notation, and I recommend it.
Well, I'm just, fine. Read to yourself the paragraph in the middle of page 5 of tape 2.
Where it begins with, all right?
Yeah.
I would object, Your Honor, to just reading.
I would object to not understanding exactly what he means when he says take two. I would.
I think he asked a question, and he's not asking the question, he's asking just read the transcript, and that's not permissible in cross-examination otherwise, unless there's some question connected to it.
Well, the transcript is the predicate to the question, Your Honor, but I can rephrase it.
Please do.
Yes, Your Honor. Did Ms. Wuornos say, in reference to Mr. Mallory, that he had been drinking?
Yeah, this is probably the most biased
Did
judge.
she say, in reference to
Blatantly
Mr. Mallory,
biased
that he
judge.
had been smoking marijuana?
He might as well be on the state's team. I mean,
Objection, Your Honor, asked and answered proves to an eligibility standard.
Well, let me answer you.
Yes, sir.
Did she say, in reference to Mr. Mallory, that she had been drinking when she was with him? We're getting pretty drunk now.
Objection, Your Honor, repetitions from prior testimony.
Let me answer you again.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever ask her what effect the drinking had on her with Mr. Mallory?
No, sir.
Did Sergeant Munster?
No, sir.
Please turn to page 7. Did Ms. Wuornos ever tell you, Sergeant, or Sergeant Munster, middle of the page, that Mr. Mallory was coming toward her?
Yes, sir.
And when she said that, your next words were, okay, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever ask her, what do you mean by coming towards you?
She had answered it from my previous one because I had asked where the positions of both of them were, and she had advised me that he was behind the wheel of the car, she was on the passenger side, and he was coming toward her from the steering wheel, driver's side, to the passenger side where she was.
Did you ever ask her how he was coming toward her? Whether
No,
it
sir.
was fast, whether it was anything along those lines?
No, sir.
Did you ever ask her what he was doing when he was coming toward her?
No, sir.
Did you ever ask her what she perceived him doing when he was coming toward her?
No, sir.
On that same page, Ms. Wuornos makes reference to he's getting really heavy. You recall that? Now, I won't go through the whole paragraph, but it's in the next paragraph.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever ask her what she meant by he's getting really heavy?
No, sir.
Did you ever ask her what made her perceive him as getting really heavy?
No, sir.
That same paragraph, she says, then he started getting violent with me. You recall that?
Yes, sir.
That was in reference to Mr. Mallory.
Yes, sir.
That's who she's talking about there, right?
And she explains it by saying we're fighting a little bit.
Did you ask her, what do you mean by, then he started getting violent with me? Did you ask her that?
No, sir, because on her next sentence where she says we're fighting a little bit, to me, that was my answer to getting violent. We're beginning to fight some. A little bit.
Did you or Sergeant Munster ever ask her, what do you mean by we're fighting a little bit? Where are you fighting a little bit? How do you define a little bit?
Well, I know where they are because they told me that they're inside the car.
Did you ever ask her, what do you mean by that? How do you define that?
No, sir.
Page 8, same transcript. Ms. Wuornos says, I think he was going to roll me, take my money back, beat me up, or whatever the heck he was going to do. Do you recall her saying that?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever ask her, what did Mr. Mallory do to make her perceive that?
Excuse me, Your Honor, I would respectfully object. We presented the entire Mallory confession several days ago. There was a full cross-examination of every aspect of that, and now counsel has entered into a whole renewed cross-examination. We didn't even talk about the Mallory case as it pertains to the individual acts on this series of testimony. In fact, we're getting a cross-examination of something I didn't even ask the officer about. It's going to cause me to have to go back in and present the whole Mallory incident again. It's repetitious.
We will enjoy that, redirect.
I guess my objection is it's repetitious, Your Honor.
Yes, sir, but I do not want to interfere with the right full cause.
Yes, sir.
Did you ask her what she perceived to make her think he was going to beat her up?
No, sir.
And when she's talking about the person who was going to beat her up here, she was talking about Mallory.
That's correct.
You did not ask her what Mallory
No, he
did
didn't.
or what she perceived him as doing.
When she said that, I took that as that she didn't know what he was going to do, if anything at all.
I think he was going to roll me, take my money back, beat me up. That's what she said, right?
She also said, or whatever.
or whatever. Did you ever ask her what made you think that?
No, sir.
Page 9. Towards the bottom of the page. Ms. Wuornos says, I jumped out of the car because he was physically trying to abuse me. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
Did you or Sergeant Munster ever ask her what she perceived to be physical abuse?
No, sir.
And she's talking about Mallory, right?
Yes, sir.
Page 10, top of the page. Ms. Wuornos describes, my God, you know, I said, well, it hurt to do that. Then he got pissed, calling me. He said, fuck you, baby. I'm going to screw you right here and now, something like that. Do you recall her saying that?
Your Honor, I would object. Again, we reverted back to counsel's reading and asking for a yes or no. It's not.
In all honesty, Judge, that one was to save time and I'll avoid it.
Go ahead.
Do you recall her saying that?
Yes, sir.
The question you ask her is, where are you right after that, right?
Yes, sir.
Again, you and Sergeant Munster did not ask Ms. Wuornos anything about her perceptions at that time.
No, sir. I'm trying to lock down basics.
And when she was describing the other cases, her descriptions were consistent with what she said about Mallory, right? As to each of the instances, she says she had been drinking, right?
I don't recall each instance.
Do you recall an instance where Ms. Wuornos said, I was with this guy. I was not drinking with this guy.
No, sir.
As to each of the instances, Ms. Wuornos provided to you and Sergeant Munster what she perceived to be a situation in which she was defending herself or acting against some type of assault, right?
Yes, sir.
There was not an instance where she said, no, with this guy, it was different, it was intentional, right?
That's correct.
In fact, she told you she never intended to kill anyone, right?
At the beginning of the tape, yes, sir.
In reference to all of these fellows.
Yes, sir.
And she told you that she never intended to rob anyone, right?
Yes, sir.
She gave you examples of that. She told you she'd been with 200 some odd thousand men and nothing had happened with that other group of men, right?
Yes, sir.
She also told you that she never planned to go out and harm anyone on the road, right?
That's correct.
She also told you that she never premeditated. She never mentioned premeditating anything, right?
No, sir.
When she was talking about retrieving Mr. Mallory's keys, do you recall how she told you that was done?
Retrieving his keys.
Well, she went into his pockets and got his keys so she could drive the car, right?
Yes, sir.
She did not say that she was looking for money in his pockets. Right? It was the keys she was talking about.
What page is that, sir?
I think it was in your Mallory.
Oh, what's up, Leo?
synopsis.
Morning. Wasn't easy getting Herman Munster in here. His booking fee is, and time travel is, woo! Hefty price.
Can I have a moment, Your Honor? Flip my pages. Judge, Ms. Jenkins is going to find it just
That was a great show.
Detective, and I'll move on to something else to say tonight. On page 47, tape 2, bottom paragraph.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Wuornos says, "I had no intentions of killing anybody."
Yes, sir.
That was in response to a question by yourself as to whether she told anybody beforehand that she was going to harm them or to do something to them, right?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Wuornos was asked questions about locations of things, like of cars.
Yes, sir.
Her accounts on those questions were relatively accurate, right?
Yes, sir.
The cars checked out where she said they were.
Yes, sir.
She was also asked about locations of decedents, right?
Yes, sir.
And her accounts checked out on the locations with regard to decedents.
Yes, sir.
She was also asked about items of property, right?
Yes, sir.
And her accounts checked out as to items of property,
Yes, sir.
right? When she said a suitcase, that Tyria Moore had a certain suitcase, Tyria Moore did have that suitcase, right?
Yes, sir.
When she said, "I gave Tyria Moore this, this, and that," and Tyria Moore took this, this, and that, Tyria Moore had already turned those things over to investigators, right?
Yes, sir.
And when she talked about where she threw the gun away, folks went and found the gun there, law enforcement officers, right?
Yes, sir.
On each of those things that Ms. Wuornos
You gotta swing
related,
into the picture there.
when, during the course of your investigation, law enforcement checked those things out, her account was found to be accurate. More or less. Nobody's 100% accurate, but more or less. The gun was where she said, the property was where she said, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes, sir.
Man, that chair is so loud.
When she said that Mr. Mallory was getting violent with her after drinking, did law enforcement, yourself or any other officer, do anything to check out that account? In other words, did you investigate Mr. Mallory's background?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
And in doing that, you spoke to Jacqueline Davis, correct?
Yes, sir.
In investigating Mr. Mallory's background, you found out that what Ms. Wuornos told you, some of those things checked out, right? He did have a history of drinking.
Yes, sir.
He did have a history of marijuana use, right?
For Ms. Davis, yes, sir.
Objection, Your Honor, we're in hearsay now from another day.
Marijuana.
During the course of your investigation, when Ms. Wuornos told you, just by way of example, where certain property was, you went and you found the property there and checked out.
Yes, sir.
When Ms. Wuornos told you that Mr. Mallory was violent towards her, you went and you checked out his history of violence towards women, and that checked out, right?
Objection, excuse me, Your Honor. He knows that's a proper question. And I ask that the question be stricken as you're instructed to disregard.
Disregard that question.
It's like the Judge Shelley, like I can't with this judge.
Did you, during the course of your investigation, uncover evidence regarding Mr. Mallory's incarceration?
I feel like the prosecutor is the judge.
Objection, Your Honor.
Well, okay.
Did you, during the course of your investigation, come across evidence regarding Mr. Mallory's personality traits?
Objection, irrelevant.
Standing objection.
Did you, during your investigation, come across evidence regarding experimental treatment that Mr. Mallory had received?
Objection, irrelevant, immaterial, asked that the question be stricken as prejudicial, intended to prejudice the jury without
Standing objection.
Did you, during the course of your investigation, come across evidence regarding threats and violence directed by Mr. Mallory towards women in the past?
Objection, Your Honor. We would like to object and ask the counsel be instructed to not ask questions that he knows are inadmissible for the purpose of prejudice to the jury. This is similar to we need to quit being here.
Standing objection.
To clarify the record, Your Honor, so I don't do, Your Honor knows some of these relate to a certain group of items that we've been discussing. I won't get it.
That is the standing objection.
Are you, if I keep going along these same lines where Your Honor rules similarly, just so that I know?
Seems like a pattern, doesn't it?
It does, Judge.
Seems like a pattern.
You can learn from the fact.
Respectfully, Your Honor.
Like, how is none of that relevant
disregards
to
the rules
me?
of evidence, and I would object to continuing the pattern and disregard the rules of evidence.
That's why I made the inquiry, Your Honor, because I tried to touch different categories, and Your Honor has indicated that entire area. As far as the legal arguments on this issue, it's not appropriate. I would submit to do it in front of the jury. We can do it at a later time before Your Honor. Thank you, Judge. A briefcase that was discussed between Sergeant Munster and Ms. Wuornos was found in the property of Ms. Moore, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
And it was a briefcase relating to this prosecution.
Yes, sir.
And it was, and other items of property were in Ms. Moore's possession, right?
Yes, sir.
You testified that Ms. Wuornos said that something regarding, I'll just read you my note, and you'll find it in your synopsis. About
Objection asked and answered. He's already answered his own question, Judge.
This is a note from Director.
Go ahead.
Something about control, or that she liked being in control, or something like that, do you recall testifying about that in direct examination?
Yes, sir.
Can you give me the transcript page where that's said?
Page 59. Approximately 3/4 of the way down.
Southern twang. Southern twang.
Who were you talking about during this interaction with Ms. Wuornos?
Approximately halfway down where she starts about.
No, I know where it is, but who were you talking about?
Your Honor, we're just trying to answer the question. Will you be allowed to do that?
Yes, sir. Let him answer the questions before you proceed.
Yes, Judge.
We had started off with Ms. Wuornos saying, "I remember the missionary guy," which was Mr. Sims.
Okay. And Ms. Wuornos says, like,
Objection, Your Honor. May the witness be allowed to finish his answer.
Let him answer the question, sir.
the question was, who was she talking about, and the detective gave a name.
You answered completely, sir.
No, sir.
Let him answer your question.
Yes, Judge.
We had started off with Mr. Sims. Then it went to a generic, and she states here, "You're going to rape me,
So
you're going to kill me,
combative.
whatever you're going to
Got the
do,
spice
it's not going to
flowing
happen
between these
because I'm
scenes
on the
here."
other end of the stick now, see?" And that's when I say, "Then you're in control," and she agrees with me.
Okay, and that's where you got the control concept from,
That's
right?
correct.
Ms. Wuornos says, like, "Hey, dude, you're going to rape me. You're going to kill me. Whatever you're going to do, it's not going to happen because now I'm on the other end of the stick now." And you say to her, "You're in control." And she says, "Yeah."
That's correct.
She never used the word control, right?
That's correct.
She said, "You're going to rape me, you're going to kill me, and now I'm on the other end of the stick."
That's correct.
Can I have a moment, Your Honor? Detective, when you, I guess maybe tomorrow is the better time to do it. Well, withdraw it. Can I see the synopsis? Just take a look at it.
My large one here?
The little ones.
These are the ones you already have, these are the ones that just made up.
Detective, if you don't mind making us copies of those, we don't need them today, but just if you can have them delivered to us tomorrow or something.
No problem.
You have some yellow markings through those synopses, like highlighting, or sort of like this, like what I did with the statement.
Yes, sir.
What is the purpose of those highlightings?
Just draw my attention to pertinent information.
I have nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you, Detective.
Tanner, Mr. Rick.
Thank you, Your Honor. Please report. During the dialogue, kind of a rambling because no questions were being asked of Ms. Wuornos on the first tape, you said neither you nor Officer Munster really asked her any questions at that time once. Why is that?
Because she had requested a lawyer.
Okay. And is that when she was kind of given this, it was self-defense, et cetera, and you weren't questioning her at all, were you?
That's correct.
Because she said she wanted a lawyer, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you were waiting for the lawyer to arrive.
Yes, sir.
And in your training as a major case investigator, what is your training once a defendant says, I want a lawyer?
I cease talking to that person until they've had contact with an attorney.
All right. But if they ask you questions, can you answer their questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And some of that went on. She asked a few questions of you and Munster, right?
Yes, sir.
But you all basically quit asking her any questions and didn't ask her what she was saying because she said she wanted a lawyer before she talked to you.
That's correct.
And then she went on talking.
Yes, sir.
And she gave a few more reasons than the mere fact that she wanted to protect Ty Moore for telling about these murders, didn't she?
Yes, sir.
She over and over again said she's guilty, didn't she?
Objection to the leading, Your Honor.
What are some of the other reasons that she gave for wanting to talk to you?
Right on page 1, she said that the reason why she wanted to talk to us was to let you know that I'm the one who did the killings.
And what did she say with regard to the guilt of Ty Moore? Or innocence? I'm not asking you to read quotes. Do you remember what she told you every time you asked her about Ty Moore?
She said that she had nothing to do with these murders, that she was the only one involved.
Now, for a while, Ty Moore was a suspect in this case, wasn't she?
Yes, sir.
Primarily for several reasons. One had something to do with an automobile wreck.
Your Honor, objection. What were the reasons? No objection, Your Honor.
Go ahead and finish your question. I don't know what question.
There was, all right, what were the several reasons that before you talked to Ty Moore and Aileen Wuornos and completed your investigations, you suspected her because of some incident on July 4th, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
And what was that?
That was when Mr. Sims' car was wrecked in Marion County, and 2 women were seen crawling out of that particular car.
Okay, and those are pictures that the artist did the rendition of?
The sketches, yes, sir.
And, but your ultimate complete investigation revealed what with regard to Ty Moore, with regard to any guilt on the robberies or murders?
That she was not involved.
Ty Moore voluntarily helped law enforcement, didn't she?
Yes, sir, even though she knew that she was under suspicion still.
Okay. With regard to her, I'm talking here about Ms. Wuornos, first 25 tape 1, kind of rambling through different subjects. Did she appear to be coherent?
Yes, sir.
She appeared to be logical in her words and thought structure as she talked.
Yes, sir.
Any reason to believe that she didn't know what she was doing when she talked at that time?
No, sir.
On pages 5 and 6, she discussed, and I'm talking about tape 1, she discussed the killing of Mallory kind of sketchily, did she not?
Yes, sir.
Sketchable. Is that a word, sir?
In that area, in getting onto page 5 and 6, is that where Aileen Wuornos told how the two of them had been in the car together?
Yes, sir.
Did Ms. Wuornos indicate to you when Ty Moore first found out that she was riding in a stolen car with regard to the Sims vehicle?
Yes, sir. She first found out about it when the car was wrecked.
And did she indicate who did the talking to the paramedics when they came up and saw these two women walking alongside the road?
Yes, sir. Ms. Wuornos did all the talking.
Now, Mr. Knowles asked you about this area on page 7 where it begins in the middle of the page where she says, see one guy, he was trying to screw me. Do you see where I'm beginning there?
Yes, sir.
You read fragments of that for Mr. Knowles and the jury. Would you begin reading there and just read all the way down to the bottom of the page and from the transcript?
Ms. Wuornos is saying, see one guy, he was trying to screw me in the ass and stuff. Investigator Munster says, what did he say? Ms. Wuornos replies, he was going to try to a anal screw, you know, anal screw or whatever you call it. So I started fighting with him and I got to my bag and I shot him. And then when I shot him the first time, he just backed away. And I thought to myself, well, hell, should I, you know, try to help this guy or should I just kill him? So I didn't know what to do. So I figured, well, if I help the guy and he lives, he's going to tell on me and I'm going to get for attempted murder, all this jazz. And I thought, well, the best thing to do is just keep shooting them. Then I get to the point that I thought, well, I shot him. The stupid bastard would have killed me, so I kept shooting, you know? In other words, I shot him, and then I said to myself, damn, you know, if I didn't shot him, he would have shot me because he would have beat the shit out of me. Maybe I would have been unconscious. He would have found my gun going through my stuff and shot me because he probably would have gone to get it for trying to rape me, see? So I shot him, and then I thought to myself, well, hell, I might as well just keep on shooting him because I got to kill the guy because he's gonna, you know, go and tell somebody if he lives or whatever. Then I thought to myself, well, this dirty bastard deserves to die anyways because of what he was trying to do to me.
And what's the last sentence on the next page, page 8?
So those three things went in my mind for every guy that I shot.
And you didn't ask her any questions about that at that time because she'd asked for a lawyer.
That's correct.
And you've been trained not to ask anything, just to listen if they ask for a lawyer.
Yes, sir.
She wasn't talking about Mr. Mallory there, was she?
She was speaking generically on all the victims.
Now, on page 8, she said that she had gone through, here she uses the figure 100,000 guys. She didn't start shooting people, or didn't start these 100,000 guys. It seems like didn't find necessary to kill people unless she got the gun. Let me rephrase that. When did the killing begin, to the best of your knowledge?
With Mr. Mallory.
And how long had she had the gun before the killing began?
Approximately 2 days before.
Did she ever explain to you why 100,000 or 250,000, however many it was, guys, she didn't need to kill, and suddenly, here in less than a year's time, she had to kill suddenly everyone trying to rape her? Did you ever explain
That's a pretty good point. That's actually the best one he's made. I think that's part of that's her actual confessions, which I think are damning as fuck. I mean, however you feel about it, whether you think some of them deserved it, yada yada, whatever, you can feel bad for her. But yeah, I think she went crazy. I think she started going nuts. Not only started going nuts, she was fucking nuts and broken by life. And there at the end, yeah, she was like, I don't know if maybe it was paranoia. Maybe it was the paranoia of these guys hurting her, and you know, she still had to do this job to get money. But yeah, I don't know.
right, with regard to her motive, and I'd ask you to look at page 20 of tape 1. And I'd like you to begin right in the middle where she's talking about Ty Moore. She says, I don't want her to be involved. Do you see that sentence?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would you read there until I ask you to stop?
Yes, sir. I don't want her to be involved because she's not guilty. And I'm willing to take the punishment because I'd rather confess that I did it so she wouldn't have to. In other words, she doesn't deserve any punishment. She didn't do anything. I don't know how to express myself on this. I don't want you to think I'm doing it because I love her and I'm trying to protect her or something, because I'm not. I'm doing it because I love her and she's not guilty. She didn't do anything. And I'm not trying to protect her from anything. I'm
These are
being
just
very
earbuds,
wide
though.
open and honest.
Thank you. There was a question raised by
That
Mr.
video gets
Knowles
pulled
regarding
up.
page 59 of the second tape. And she was talking about Mr. Sims, the one she calls the missionary guy.
What's up,
You read a little
Strickland?
bit for the jury, Mr. Knowles, about, hey, dude, you're going to rape me, but there's a paragraph or two above that.
You had a good Christmas, Strychnine.
Where you begin with a question. When you made sure the person was dead and then she answers, would you begin her answer there and go until I ask you to stop? It's page 59, second tape.
Yes, sir. She stated,
I had a super good Christmas. Dan got me, so I have like a key light right here, but truly for the green screen that I have, because I have this like shitty light right here, like this little ring light, and I make it work and it's fine, but really and truly I should have two key lights, one here and one here. So I haven't set up the other one yet, but I'm excited to do it because I think that I can make the green screen look a little bit better. Because if you look at my green screen, like it looks good, but also it's just kind of shitty. Like I could even fix it a little bit from like where it is right now probably. But you can just see it's just not perfect. Like it's not bad, but it's because I don't have the full-on proper lighting, and hopefully that will...
I shot him. Oh, well, yeah.
Yo, slow
I
thing.
remember the missionary
Sweetheart.
guy. I shot him once, and I thought to myself that I don't really want to do this to you, guy, but I'm going to have to, because you're going to, if I did let you live, you're going to tell, and who I am and all this other jazz, and I'd probably get caught, And then I asked, so you had to kill him and silence him, basically. Is that what it boiled down to? Ms. Wuornos replies, yeah, but it also wasn't bitterness of what you were doing to me. See what I'm saying?
Okay, thank you. With regard to the confirmation of Mr. Cascade, now she didn't say it was Cascade by name, but was there any other person that had been shot 9 times?
No, sir.
And was there any others that she told you she shot him and then reloaded and shot him some more?
No, sir, only him.
And is that the only one that the evidence supported that was Cascade's killing?
Yes, sir.
So shot this guy up, reloaded, and continued to shoot this guy up. Holy fuck.
When you asked her the details of the Mallory case, you testified about that several days ago. I'm not going to ask you to go through that any further. But what seemed to be in her story to you as to when they reached a point of disagreement? She gave you several stories, but if you can collate those, do you recall what she said?
Yes, sir. The one was in reference to she was afraid that Mr. Mallory, on the first story, was going to take his money back after she had been paid by Mr. Mallory.
Oh, and I literally just saw that come through the phone here. I think whether that was Cash App or with a Venmo. Kathy coming through Venmo with $4.20, and we know what that's about, with a smiley face attached to it. And jumping in the chat right about the same time. Good morning, Pastor Steve and congregation. Pumpkin and I are lurking in the background. I'm glad you're here, Kathy. Thank you so much for that. Got you on the wheel. We've already got one wheel ready to spin here this morning. So you're number 2 on the brand new fresh wheel. Again, we're going to be giving out some goodies this morning. We're going to be giving out some hell yes magnets. We're going to be giving out some publicly buzzed coasters. We've got the brand new Savage sticker that's textured, and then we've got the classic pink publicly buzzed sticker. All going to one lucky winner this morning. But Kathy, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Right. And did she give you another version of that concerning the money? First, she
Hope
said
you had a
she's
great
afraid it's gonna
Christmas,
take money
Kathy
back.
and
Did she give you
Pumpkin.
another version of that?
She also stated...
Kathy, I don't know if you follow me everywheres, but I've been posting pictures of the kitties. We got the kitties. First of all, I got them this cow bed, like one of those plushy beds, and it's so soft. But it's pretty big, and they can share it, but it's also, they don't like to share it. But then I also, for Christmas, I was like, man, since they love this so much, I'm going to get them another one. And I got this pineapple one. And now mostly they one is taking one or the other. But yeah, I've been getting my kitties some goodies for Christmas.
On the second version was that they had become
I think you're on this
good
wheel,
friends
the one I'm
during
about to
the time that
spin.
they met, and she usually takes her money up front, but this time she'd make an exception. She was
You're on this
just
wheel.
going to go ahead and have sex with Mr. Mallett.
Do you know which of those versions were true?
No, sir.
Do you know if either one of them are true?
No, sir.
That's just what she's telling you.
That's correct.
And as far as the sequence where she says he's starting to get heavy on her,
Let me show you
does she
guys.
describe on page 7
So here's,
of the second trans?
just real quick, I hate to keep pausing, but real quick, we're hanging out. We're having a good time. Santa came, and there are both beds officially. See Charles, my buddy Charlie, this is the boss man. He's in the cow plushy bed, and we got Ellie taken up, which is a little bit smaller. I didn't really notice that. And you can see this one's pretty large, but it's also kind of perfect. Like even he can fit in. He's bigger than her. I think he's 13 pounds and she's 11 pounds. But yeah, they're digging the hell out of these beds. Yeah, Ellie, I got some kitties. Oh, Foster running through. Happy holidays, Forster. Foster. I have Foster on the brain from this booze that I just got some. Was it? No, I think that's Forster, actually. No. Forrest Nelson, get the hell in here. What's going on, brother? Hopefully you're having a good holiday. Good Christmas. All the way from Canada. Yeah, they love them. They freaking love these beds. They're pumped about them. So, yeah. I'm pumped about it.
Transcript, if you would, begin with her words, and she said, okay, so anyway, if you would describe that, please, or read that, please. And read until I ask you to stop. Page 7, under the word okay.
Dude, it was funny because like they'd both be laying in the one before I got the second bed, and just out of nowheres, one moved a little too much or something, and it one woke the other one up and just started swatting at each other. And then neither one wanted to leave, so they just both went back to sleep after having a little hissy. I was like, what is
Ms.
that?
Wuornos replies, the doors are open, okay. So then he's getting really heavy, on me, and stuff. And I'm going like, now he's getting to where he just wants to just, unzip his pants, not take his pants off or anything. Just start having sex and stuff. And I said, well, why don't you just disrobe or something, I mean, why do you have to have your clothes still on? Then he started getting violent with me, so we're fighting a little bit, and I had my purse right on the passenger floor.
He's a romantic. He's a romantic for sure. Just unzip, pull out the Johnson.
All right? And up above that, did she describe a sequence of him hugging and kissing on her, trying to lay on her?
Yes, sir.
All right. She also told you taking off her clothes and lay down in the front seat, didn't she?
Yes, sir.
Did she say it was a surprise that this man wanted to lay on top of her after she took off her clothes and laid on the front seat?
No, sir.
point of contention was he didn't want to take his pants off. That was the point of contention, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Were you trying to just listen and let her give you as much detail as she could without prodding or prompting from you?
Objection, leading.
Rephrase the question.
What was your methodology once she began to describe the sequence of events? Did you try to interrupt or otherwise?
No, so I let her go step by step. I asked her just to continue. After each time that she would give me a statement in reference to Mr. Mallory, I would ask her what happened next.
And what was the thing? What was her ultimate story? Is what happened next? She describes struggling over the bag with the gun in it.
Yes, sir. The story then stays the same from there, and that she pulls out the weapon, and she advises that she ordered Mr. Mallory to get out of the car. And then she said, that you son of a bitch, I knew you were going to rape me. And Mr. Mallory responded by saying, no, no, I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
And then what'd she do?
She said, oh, yes, you were. I know you were going to try to rape me. And with that, she fires around and strikes Mr. Mallory on the right side when he's sitting behind the wheel.
Apparently by now he got back in the car. Where was he when she said...
Objection, Your Honor.
Where was he when she said she finally fired the first shot into his body or neck, or wherever she hit him?
Behind the steering wheel.
He was behind the steering wheel?
Yes, sir.
Where was she?
She was outside the car.
And what did she have in her hand?
.22 caliber handgun.
With how many rounds?
9 rounds.
Was it or was it not fully loaded?
Fully loaded.
And then what did she do?
She fired immediately.
Did she indicate he reacted or made a sound?
Yes, sir. She said that when the bullet struck him, he went, ooh.
And then what did they do? Just describe what she told you one more time.
At that time...
Objection has been answered, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Something
At
bit
that
me.
time, Mr. Mallory crawls out of the car, and he shuts the door.
Now, once he shut that door, where was she standing at that point, according to her story?
Still at the passenger side.
And he shut which door?
Driver's side door. And that effectively blocked Ms. Wuornos' view of Mr. Mallory as he was on the ground.
Then what did she do?
She ran around to the front of the vehicle.
What happened next?
She then shot Mr. Mallory again.
How many times?
It's a total of 4.
Was he standing with each shot?
Computer is going very slow right now. I hope it don't do something.
No, sir.
How was the last shot delivered, according to her story?
He was lying on the ground.
With regard to the details of where all the automobiles were abandoned, she clearly told you where those automobiles were abandoned, all 7 of them, didn't she?
Yes, sir.
And she clearly told
Ooh! Something bit me. Ooh! 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 Ah! Ow! Ooh! Ee!
you where 6 of the 7 bodies were left in the state of Florida.
I bet he said something bit me.
Yes, sir.
And those automobiles were all found in those
Something
particular
bit.
places that she described.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
that damn
And
bullet!
the bodies likewise were found where she said she left the dead men's bodies.
That's correct.
With the exception of Mr. Sims, who was left somewhere off.
I object to the continual leading.
With the exception of
Dude.
which one?
Mr. Sims.
Actually reminds me at the beginning of I think it's Thriller, the Michael Jackson song Thriller. Like at the very beginning, I think this is. It came on the radio like yesterday. And to the very beginning, he goes, "I can't." I feel like he's sucking it. And then he just goes into it. And I was trying to get that noise down.
Tell us which one the body, she couldn't locate the body for us.
It's the one that was left up in Georgia, off of I-95.
Your Honor, may I have a moment to...
Yes, sir.
intended that Mr. Knowles to basically fragment Officer Corzetta's testimony with regard to the statements and then with regard to two exhibit charts that we wanted to introduce, but because of the flow of cross-examination we got there, and it might be easier on all of us if we just go ahead and bring them in. Mr. Knowles has indicated expediency is...
Either way, Judge. No, I haven't. That's the problem, Your Honor. Judge, I think we're going to need a couple of minutes just to compare some notes and... Judge, we're going to need to take up some objections with regard to the exhibit.
Something I could skip through here.
And that exhibit 6 times T, and it...
That's it.
All right.
That's it.
And the other, yes, Your Honor, is exhibited, is identified as exhibit 6 times U.
I'll allow it.
And in each, we believe the witness would testify that with regard to photographs and the locations, that these are the locations and the bodies recovered in places indicated by Ms. Wuornos. And the other would be an indication of the pattern of crime and locations, et cetera, corroborated the witness's testimony.
No,
Your Honor, I was not prepared to argue the substance of it, so I don't know if we could speak to the accuracy of everything on the charge. The little predicates have been laid on everything. More significantly, Your Honor admitted this evidence as willing evidence to prove one of the facts. Charts such as these will do exactly what any case on Williams jurisdiction. The objection, Your Honor, is unduly emphasize the Williams evidence. Thanks, Judge. Thank you, Judge.
be human.
That's it. Thanks. I was going to get there, but you...
I don't generally advise counsel as to what motions to make.
Thank you, Judge.
We've got that out of the way now. You ready to proceed, counsel?
We are, Your Honor.
Great.
Well, let me, wow. Your Honor, there was one other evidentiary matter I spoke to Mr. Knowles about earlier. He said he wanted to wait till that part of the cross-examination. These are the 2 flashlights that were recovered under the bridge that Ms. Wuornos told him about, as well as the gun.
I don't know if maybe... Well, let's just...
The jury's out here.
Detective, she identified a box, right? During...
Maybe I can help. I believe that. Didn't she indicate that she threw away a couple of flashlights along with the gun and the bridge? Yes. And the flashlights were recovered.
I'm deferring to my co-counsel on this one.
He indicated it was the maroon Grand Prix.
That's a huge
I believe
fucking
it is.
flash.
That's correct. Thank you.
As I understand it, Your Honor, the flat,
Hopefully something.
It's the nicest thing I've been called all day, Judge.
Certainly by me.
this exhibit, Judge, is not linked to anything through a witness.
If I can recall Mrs. Barrett, if that's necessary. Counsel really wants that. We'll bring Mrs. Barrett back, and we'll link it up for you, Counsel.
Keep making that objection, so I guess we'll have to do it.
I could suggest a telephonic deposition of Mrs. Berry, Your Honor. We don't need to bring her back.
That won't be necessary. Mrs. Barrett has indicated a willingness to cooperate with this judge, and we'll bring the witness back and let the jury hear her testimony as to those belonging to Mr. Antonio, if that's what the counsel wants to do.
Is the state representing that the only way they know to link this evidence is through Mrs. Berry?
I think we may be able to.
I'm not asking you any questions. I'm not asking you any.
I'm
I
asking
believe I can
you.
link it. I think I can link it. I would ask him if in fact, as one of those submitted, she took these from the Dr. Grand Prix, which is Mr. Antonio. I don't think there's any dispute there.
Yeah, but John, that doesn't link it. That's a...
So if the defendant says that she took it from Mr. Antonio's Grand Prix and threw it on the Rose Bay, you don't find linkage, counsel?
Yeah, that's pretty fucking stupid on the defense's part there, I think.
Your Honor, the defense's position is if the only way to link it is through Mrs. Berry, we do not need to have Mrs. Berry dragged down here. She's already been here. We would stipulate if that's the case. But we asked Mr. Tanner to represent to the court if that is the only witness the state knows who can do that.
That is correct, Your Honor, except the linkage which you've already suggested, and I think that may be sufficient in and of itself. Yes, Ms. Berry's on.
I think that would be sufficient.
Then, Judge, we
also.
don't need to drag Mrs. Berry back.
Subject to the ongoing objections as to whether.
Right, all,
Right.
yes,
Of course.
yes, Judge. Thank you, Your Honor.
Now, let me advise.
I saw that. Yeah, Bank Street. I was surprised on
Cover
it.
other things. I've been informed.
I'm interested. I might make it today.
Demonstration
Yeah, go
going
shopping.
on outside in regard to abortion.
What's up, Gabby?
Anti-abortion.
It's also hard to hear the fucking judge, so I'm gonna stop talking.
Are welcome. There will not be any effect on this court because the jury is escorted out the back of the building. Maybe the press might like to get some new refreshments. Or if you mentioned, jury been in this.
I have no clue.
That's correct. With regard to your conversation with Ms. Wuornos, you had testified several days ago now that she told you where she threw the gun, correct?
That's correct.
All right, did she also indicate she disposed of a couple of flashlights that belonged to Mr. Antonio under the bridge in the same area?
Yes, sir, she advised that she threw some flashlights in also.
All right.
So we have Aileen Wuornos herself. This is what's so crazy. She's admitting these things. All right, including taking this flashlight and whatever this other fucking thing is, but the flashlight from this dude's car, and the defense attorney is wanting them to link it by this other person. I think that their defendant has linked it themselves verbally through admitting it to this investigator.
Yeah, speak up a little bit. She advised what?
She threw some flashlight in also.
Okay, the same area she threw the gun.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, we had offered flashlights in evidence.
Subject to the argument outside the area, yeah, to be received, marked by the proper number.
– 14 months, damn, dude. Forrest has been hanging out here for 14 months. That's incredible. Holy shit. And do like he said, hit that like ski. Appreciate that, man. Holy crap. Hope you had a good holiday, a good Christmas, whatever you celebrate. I hope it was great. Even if it was just some time off. That's a good one. 14 months. I'm always blown away by those.
Officer Horizapa, Safa, did in fact, at any time, Aileen Wuornos ever offer to you a description of an attempted rape of her person by Richard Mountain?
No, sir.
Did she describe to you an attempted rape of her person by any of the men that she killed?
No, sir.
Jessica, 21.
Detective
Holy
Brazil, Mr.
cow.
Tanner asked you about that page
That's
7,
crazy as hell.
where Ms. Wuornos is talking about kissing and hugging and that kind of stuff. Do you recall that?
Which tape, sir?
Second tape. First full paragraph, okay, so anyway, we're in the front seat, he's hugging and kissing on me, that paragraph?
Yes, sir.
And as an aside, you recall indicating to Mr. Tanner that you did not want to interrupt Ms. Wuornos with questions, correct?
That's correct.
And you did interrupt her with questions on this page, such as, now where are you when this is occurring? All right, you're sitting where, and he's sitting where? Okay, he's behind the wheel of the car. Those were questions that you asked Ms. Wuornos, right?
That's correct.
But you did not ask her what she meant by violence, defending herself, drinking, rape, any of those concepts. You did not interrupt her with those questions, right?
Well, that's a year.
Now, in reference to what Mr. Tanner asked you about, the hugging, kissing incident, could you read to us, starting with the line "okay," and just fill out what specifically it was that Ms. Wuornos said, what you asked, and what she answered?
How far would you like me to read?
To the bottom of the page.
Bottom of page 7?
To the paragraph ending the passenger floor.
Okay, so anyway, we're in the front seat.
This is Ms. Wuornos, not to interrupt you, but just tell us who it is.
Correct, Ms. Wuornos is speaking here. Okay, so anyway, we're in the front seat. He's hugging and kissing on me and all this shit. So then he starts, pushing me down. And I said, wait a minute, get cool. You don't have to get. Want to continue?
Yeah.
Okay. Investigator Munster says, leaving. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. I then say, I'm sorry. Ms. Wuornos continues, you don't have to get rough, This is, let's have fun. This is for fun, And he's telling me, well, baby, I've been waiting for this for all night long and stuff like that.
You then ask her?
Okay. I then ask her, now where are you when this is occurring? Ms. Wuornos says, in the front seat of the car. I then say, all right, and you're sitting where? Ms. Wuornos replies, on the passenger side. I then say, and he is sitting where? Ms. Wuornos replies, in the driver's seat, going against me.
And then you ask?
Then I state, okay, he's behind the wheel of the car. Ms. Wuornos replies, but he's coming toward me. And I then say, okay.
And then she says?
She then states, the doors are open, okay. So then he's getting really heavy, on me, and stuff. And I'm going like, now he's getting to where he just wants to just, unzip his pants, not take his pants off or anything. Just start having sex and stuff. And I said, well, why don't you just disrobe or something,
We've heard this a lot now.
Why do you have to have your clothes still on? Then he started getting violent with me, so we're fighting a little bit, and I had my purse right on the passenger floor. Continue?
No, just to that point. You, as we indicated a moment ago, you asked her certain questions on this page in reference to where the two of them were in the vehicle, right?
Yes, sir.
You did not ask her what she meant by violent or any of those other things that we've been talking about, pushing down on her, coming towards me, those types of things. You didn't ask her what she meant by that, what she perceived in that,
Ask and
right?
answer. Objection, ask and answer.
You also testified on questioning by Mr. Tanner with regard to questions and answers asked of Ms. Wuornos at page 10. And if you could start reading to us in the middle of the page, starting with, so he was in the front seat of the car.
Okay. My question is, so he was in the front seat of the car. Ms. Wuornos responds by saying, mm-hmm. I then ask, okay, do you know where that bullet struck? Ms. Wuornos says, God. I then asked, did he react when you shot the gun? Ms. Wuornos question, did I react? My question, did he? Ms. Wuornos responds, yeah. He just went like, ooh, you know. I think I hit him on the side. I then asked, which side?
That was it. Ooh. As soon as he got shot. Ooh. Something bit me. Ooh. Something bit me.
Ms. Wuornos replies, I think it was on this side over here. I then say, the right side of his body? Ms. Wuornos replies, yeah. I then state, okay. Ms. Wuornos then states, okay. Then he proceeded to get out of the car. So he started to get out of the car, and I ran around to the front of the car, and he started coming toward me, and I thought to myself,
You were also asked by Mr. Tanner certain questions regarding when Ms. Wuornos first came in contact with the gun that's in exhibit here. Recall those? You said a couple of days.
yes, sir.
Could you turn to page 9, please, of the interrogation?
Take two?
Take 2.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Wuornos says, in reference to a question about the gun, I don't know, man. It might have been about maybe a couple of months ago. Recall that?
Yes, sir.
And on that same page, Ms. Wuornos says, I jumped out of the car because he was physically starting to abuse me.
Yes, sir.
Do you recall who you were talking to her about on that page?
Mr. Mallory?
Did you ever ask Ms. Wuornos whether she had been assaulted, attacked, mistreated, raped prior to Mr. Mallory?
No, sir.
Or Sergeant Munster?
No, sir.
Did you ever ask her what effect her living, the way she lived for years, had on her?
Sorry?
Did you ever ask her about the effects of her background, living on the streets, and what effects those had on her when she was sitting there with you?
No, sir.
And how she viewed the world?
No, sir.
Mr. Tanner asked you
7
certain questions about
Munskies.
the composite and
Yes,
as well as
ma'am.
Tyria Moore being
That's
seen
awesome.
together. Do you recall those? There was a bloody palm print that was used as evidence in this case. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
What vehicle was that palm print taken from?
Mr. Sims' vehicle.
And the print was matched to Ms. Wuornos, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the blood was matched to Ms. Wuornos, correct?
I don't recall.
Ooh. Something bit me.
You also testified during questioning by Mr. Tanner
Like, you fucking shot me, you psycho bitch! What the fuck is wrong with you?
that in many, well, in certain instances, Ms. Wuornos was
There'll probably be an actual
sketchily
reason.
describing what was going on. That was the word used, sketchily. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
And sketchily implies to me that she needed some focusing. You need to fill in the details, right?
Sketchily to me means that at times she just went ahead and gave short answers, or some that she didn't give a lot, just didn't give a lot of detail for whatever reason.
Right. And then you'd ask follow-up questions.
Yes, sir.
But you asked no follow-up questions about any of the things we've been talking about this afternoon.
Objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Tanner also asked you certain questions about waiting until Ms. Wuornos had had contact with an attorney to proceed, right?
Yes,
Recall
sir.
those? I think I asked you this as well, but after an attorney showed up, you did not go back and ask her about self-defense, intoxication, or any of these other things that she had mentioned.
No, sir. I asked her to tell me what happened during the incident.
And in
About to
filling
spin a
in the
wheel
details,
live.
when she was
Stick
sketchily
around.
telling you about the incidents, you did not
Still got a
go
little
back
bit of
and
show
ask
left
her,
to
what
go.
did you mean by violent, so on and so forth, right?
So the
Objection asked and answered.
Cindy Jackson.
Thank you, Detective. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Tanner.
During the 3+ hours that you took her statement, did she have an opportunity to tell you anything she wanted to?
Yes, sir.
There to listen?
Yes, sir.
Did she tell you she was telling you everything, being open with you?
Yes, sir, several times.
Did you believe that? That she was saying she was being open with you?
Yes, sir. To a degree.
I'm not asking if she's being open with you. I'm asking, did you believe she was saying that she was being open with you?
No, sir.
What was your final impression with regard to the intent of Aileen Wuornos with regard to what she told you as to why she killed Mr. Mount?
Objection to the witness's impression.
Did she give you words that told you why she killed Mr. Mallory ultimately?
Objection, vague, asked and answered.
I think that's correct, Your Honor. I have no further question.
You and Sergeant Munster asked the questions, right?
Yes, sir.
Nothing further.
Your Honor, we have a tape for probably authentication, and you want to do it on the record at this time?
I just assumed do it tomorrow, John. The detective needs to bring us back copies of those statements he's promised, so he'll be here anyway.
Counsel, let me ask you about that.
The confession tapes. Hell yeah. All right, interested in seeing this. We're going to spin a wheel. I'm also going to make a post real quick. Confession tapes. We are watching the Aileen Wuornos confession tapes. There we go. All right. And we're going to do a spin right now. So, yeah, I think this is Sleuthy Sweetheart's first time ever being on the wheel, if I'm not mistaken, which is sweet. But on this wheel, we got Caddy, Jessica, Paige, Mountain Mama, Ayana, Holly Berry, Sleuthy Sweetheart, Just a Crazy Jen, Bassett Page, Lakota, Pammy, and LS, who finished us up hard this morning with a 5 gifted memberships, which is cool because this last Tuesday I didn't do it. We should return this Tuesday night with the book club as we're reading Mindhunter currently. And if you're in there, awesome. We have a good time listening to that on Audible every Tuesday night after our regular scheduled programming. But let's get in here. Let me get her off the screen just for a second. Boom. Boom. Let's go. Good luck, everyone. Whoa! Whatever you were crossing worked. You are a winner. Holy cow. Wow, beginner's luck. That's amazing. Well, we got a winner chicken dinner. Sleuthy Sweetheart, let me get you on the wheel here so I don't forget. So I just need you to send me an email, publiclybuzzed@gmail.com, and I will send you some goodies. Fuck yeah, that's awesome. Love that. I got to get melons and stuff. I got some winners here. Pumpkin has a win here that needs to go out. I got a bunch of people here I need to get some wins out for. So yeah, just email me your address. I think that's all I need for this one. Yeah, I think I just need an address to send this to. So congratulations. How cool is that? Can't beat that. My God. First time on the wheel getting a win. My Lord, you did manifest it. I believe in manifest destiny. I really do. I mean, that was crazy. That was pretty cool. Oh, yeah. Love it. Hell yeah is in the chat. Beer's in the chat. Love to see it. Pitt's in the chat. All right, let's keep rolling now. I'm interested in this because, yeah, this is 30 minutes for the first video. Counsel and the judge watch Aileen Wuornos' taped confessions outside the presence of the jury. Now, why is this outside the presence of the jury? They were there for the last investigator who was going over what we're about to watch, presumably, what I think anyways. And yeah, I'm extremely interested in this. If you're on X, go to my last post and share that out, please. Try to let some people know. I think this is going to be really interesting anyways. And yeah, let's see what these confession tapes are like. So, oh yeah, real quick, just anybody that follows me on the second channel, Wrestle Plunge is the second channel I do here. It's a wrestling channel, but I tell a lot of really unique, crazy stories. This new video is going to be interesting because it's the guy that was losing his fucking mind and did something wild on the microphone that caused a real backstage fight between him and another wrestler. But drops today at 4:45 Eastern. Anybody that comes through and leaves comments, likes, shares, and gives hype on that video, if you have that ability, will get on a secret wheel. We do this secret wheel every 2 to 3 weeks when I drop one of these videos, and that wheel is for a free t-shirt from publiclybuzz.com. I have a lot of really cool merch on there, but you can get a free t-shirt just by helping me out with a new video today. And then don't worry, I'll be promoting this for the next probably week on every episode, so you won't forget. I'll be promoting it on my X, on YouTube, on members only, especially on Discord. But yeah, new video drops today at 4:45 Eastern, and then tonight on the same channel I go live at 6 Eastern as well. So, all right, let's keep rolling, baby. See what we get here with this confession.
Yesterday afternoon, Mr. Miller, Bill Miller, one of the co-counsel for Ms. Wuornos, and I had a brief conversation. He indicated there were certain parts.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's an easy one to get on too. It helps me out so much.
Both the original tape before the lawyer came in, and then the second tape that began after the lawyer came in which he felt there were areas of objection. He began to tell them to me, and I asked him if he would just write them down and give me a page reference, so depending on what the court's ruling was, we could attempt to edit the parts that the court indicated.
Thanks for the shares, guys.
Really, primarily just several categories. One were comments where she said, "I'm guilty," or "I did it," things like that. Another where she refers specifically, "I deserve the electric chair, I deserve to be punished."
I'm going upstairs. I will be right
things
back.
like that. Those are two categories, very closely related. Another category was where she mentioned to her public defender that she had a concealed weapons charge, and that was a warrant. She was in there
Still listening.
at the time of that tape, where she mentioned that she had a public defender. And then a question was asked her about other bodies being discovered in Georgia. And then finally, there were references to the 1974 arrest and going to jail for 10 days. I believe that is, and if I might, for identification for court use only, have a copy of the list marked and accepted by the court as being the original list that was provided to me referencing the pages.
Your Honor, if I could elaborate just a little bit, I would point out that we did address the court yesterday, that the court made certain rulings on the basis of these portions which we wish to be redacted from the record. The court has ruled that the references to the electric chair and to the death penalty would remain in the confession over objection. That the references that Ms. Wuornos made to "I don't think I should live," things like that, would remain over objection. That the reference to the public defender's offices would remain, and I believe since what we had explained was, because that came out yesterday, that I was withdrawing my objection to those portions. That's what had happened with respect to those. Pardon? Oh, the gun charge was redacted. It's my understanding that was redacted. I'm just speaking of just the references to the public defender. That's correct. You also sustained the objection to That was the references to the bodies discovered in Georgia, which Ms. Wuornos has never been tied to. In fact, she did not. That's come out. Yes, sir. As have the references to the arrest in 1974 under the name Sandra Fratch and going to jail for 10 days. And I believe also we had discussed, there was a portion there where she mentions a forgery conviction, and that too was
Yes, it's in that same statement.
Okay. I believe so. But in any event, it was, you had said you were going to listen for it when you guys did it, and that was also going to be redacted.
Okay, if it's a reference, it's not referenced by page or written down. I didn't sit down and listen to the whole freaking tape again. I only responded to specific objections.
Okay, well, I thought I'd raised that. That one as well, yes. I think that is one of his page references, John. I'm not positive.
You want me to look through all this?
Turn the heat up, man.
Yes.
Hold in the space. Dude, that is a ridiculous dress. Like, she's wearing this style of dress the entire time, but like that color pattern is in, it looks like vomit. It looks like those 80s love seats that everyone seemed to have that were probably actually from the 70s.
Yes, the forgery is on page 65 as indicated.
Okay.
Forgery warrant.
Yeah, that's it. It is on page
They're coming in
65.
defending. She said, "Listen, motherfuckers, I like the dress."
That is also redacted.
Your handwriting in that
I sure will.
reference to marijuana poly.
Oh, that was one button. Perfect opportunity to use Judge Jet.
So that too has been redacted, the reference to a forgery warrant on that same page.
Are you just talking about what's
Page 65
redacted from the
transcript.
confession?
And again, the complete list, because there were numerous mentions or numerous references to the death penalty, the electric chair, punishment in this thing. And of course, we have objected to all those things. The court has overruled those objections and is allowing them in. Additionally, I just want the record to be very clear that we are certainly not waiving our original objections to these statements or the Williams Rule objections to these statements.
Your Honor, what we did, and Bill and I together looked at this list again, and we circled in red the ones that you sustained. One is on page 5, one on page 49, one on page 65 of the transcript. And we, for the record, did redact those sections, Your Honor. Page 5 was a 16-second redaction. It began at 10:21. The one shows up on page 49 of the transcript was a 30-second redaction, and it began at 1:44. And for clarity, it begins with the words, "Have you ever done this to anybody in Georgia?" And it ends with the sentence, "I can't tell you where it's at. I swear I don't know." Back to the first redaction, we blocked the words so it's clear from the record case. The redaction on page 5, which is the first editing that I referred to, the 16-second editing, began with the words, "I have a charged concealed weapon back in '86," and it ends with the words, "Do you remember who your public defender was?"
Both of those are acceptable.
And the final redaction, Your Honor, on page 65, begins with the words, almost the whole page. She's talking about Susan Bohovic and a fake ID, and then it begins with words, how did you get that one? And the redaction begins, I believe, with, oh Lord, let's see. And she goes on about birth certificates and some guy in the
purple,
keys,
the random
and
purple
again,
shoulders. Like, what is happening here? Is the collar just purple?
with the words, she got away with having to go to jail on her damn ticket. And that's on page 65. That's a 1 minute and 20-second redaction commencing at 2:16 p.m. on the tape.
That too is acceptable. Subject to the other objections, yes. Yes, sir.
The entire tape record amount.
It is, Your Honor.
Do we need to take up anything else?
Yes, Judge. So as to not, if, with the court's permission, so as to not do it once the jury comes in, we would reiterate our objection with regard to the voluntariness, waiver issues, and admissibility.
Yeah, I think that
of the
clerk
statements.
is cutie.
We would do it, you're supposed to do it when the statements are
rocking.
introduced. They're about to be introduced, so we request the court's permission to raise that objection now.
Yes, that's what I want to do before we break the jury. Is there anything else we need to hear about?
Yes, Your Honor. In view of the Williams Rule objection and being ever aware of the potential for some appeals court somewhere, our Florida Supreme Court or higher, deciding that
I want to watch the video,
these
damn it.
collateral
Let's
murders
go.
have become
Good
features.
God.
If we get there.
I'm sorry?
If we get there.
Maybe the jury may stop.
I don't think we're getting there.
Thank you, Ryan.
One never knows.
Well, Judge, can we ask counsel not to interrupt Mr. Tanner, let him finish his sentence?
That's all right.
Thank you, Mr. Ward, for your protection. And I mean that. Mr. DeMore had protected me ever since he's been in the office, and I mean that in all sincerity.
I'd have to take all of it.
I know that's wrong. We would, in view of the Williams Rule objection and the, I guess, arguable, and I would say that really in quotes, because anything's arguable, issue that perhaps this series of killings may become too much of a feature, we are offering at this time only Ms. Wuornos' confession as it relates to the Mallory homicide, eliminating discussions between her and the police detectives or her statements relating to any of the other homicides, and eliminating her generic statements, which we feel do apply to Mallory, but because they are couched in terms of plurality and they, and I feel of all, for this reason, we eliminated those references as well. We will have a witness to verify the authenticity.
A couple of things, Judge. As a preliminary matter, we have not had a chance to review any tape focusing solely on Maryland. So we don't know.
Why don't I get the jury out of excuse before we do that?
We could,
I think that's a good idea, because we can't make a decision on whether or not that's
I think
acceptable.
about 20 minutes, Judge.
I get the jury out here.
Leah coming through with facts on this dress right now, son. So the jury's back? I thought they weren't going to watch it. What is happening?
We're having a little difficulty in our production right now, and rather than keep you back in the back room back there, I'm going to let you go out on the street, and it's anticipated to take us about 30
Let them
minutes.
go while we watch the
You
video.
will be in recess until 10:15, and give you time to move around instead of staying back there. Do not enter the courtroom until the bailiff pages you.
Aileen wearing a nice purple jacket today.
If we may go over a little bit past 10:15, is the point I would make. So the jury will be in recess until 10:15, and we will continue in recess.
Again, anybody that was unaware, they show. I mean, it doesn't matter. What is this? 35 fucking years ago, but they show the jury. It's odd. It's odd for us today.
Your Honor, I think...
I haven't seen this in any other classic trial of what.
Yes, we should have this marked as an exhibit.
Yeah, we received Madam Clerk, mark for an You're not going to leave me for this, are you?
No, Your Honor. In fact, we could be in recess
I see it.
Court may recess until called by the attorney. Let me get these lights established though at the level that you're going to want when you decide which way to go. Gentlemen, I'm sorry.
Judge, if I
I'm
can
not
get this
wasting
cranked up, I
time.
think we can. I think I seen.
Oh, lights down.
Sergeant?
Oh my God. I didn't even think about this. Oh my God. They're not going to show us what's happening. They're going to show us what's happening from the courtroom. Like, we're not actually going to get like, new trials actually, you know, do show us on the actual, like, a full screen of video being shown in court. Oh my God, this is not going to be good. This is going to be terrible. Go, Ayana. Morning. Oh, this is horrible. This is fucking terrible. We're not going to be able to sit through this. It's going to be pointless. I literally can make nothing out. You can't even see. This is bad. All right, we can't do this. I'm gonna skip through. Oh, yeah, here we go. Hold on. Can see a little better. Oh my God. I can't make anything out. It really is. Yeah. I'm gonna jump ahead. This is pointless for us. So the good thing about this is the last investigator that was on the stand for 2.5 hours. I mean, you know, the defense got to question him how they wanted. You know, that is what these confession videos were, though. Basically, her saying essentially what we heard through the investigator. But, oh, this is horrible.
In all candor, Your Honor, we've had Judge Graziano.
Let's see what he's saying.
Counsel, do we have some motions that need to be heard before we bring in the jury?
I don't know if they're necessarily
Morning,
motions
Carrie.
or matters, Your Honor. For the record, we have had an opportunity to view a condensed version of the statement tape relating to the statements on which Judge Graziano has previously ruled. We had not had an opportunity to view it.
That sucks because I was really excited to hear it in her words, though, man. I hate that.
This morning, we've reviewed it, we've conferred, and
Yeah, right?
the defense is in essence...
Hey, morning, Caddy.
Mr. Tanner has also indicated to us that the state...
Hope you had a great
would like to
Christmas.
present this tape to the jury in lieu of the full tape that Judge Graziano previously...
Correct.
In all candor, Your Honor, we've had a difficult decision to make in this regard. However, given our position on the Williams rule evidence that we've consistently taken throughout the trial, it would be untenable for us to not agree to the condensed tape.
That's your choice, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. But what I'm saying is we have felt very strongly all along that, with all due respect, that Your Honor's ruling on the Williams rule evidence was the wrong ruling. And given that view, and given that position that we've held all along, I think it's more legitimate for the jury to view the tape that the state has presented to us today. We would, so as to not interrupt, renew our objection with regard to the voluntariness waiver issues and the other issues relating to the admissibility of the statements. I think if Your Honor can just...
Yeah.
We also, there are some references on this tape that touch on the Williams Rule issues, and we would renew our objection to the Williams Rule evidence. I can run through those for Your Honor and for the record. Specifically, and the first one is one that there's not much that can be done about, but Detective Herzeppa,
So, I mean, I'm guessing essentially this was outside the presence of the jury, and everyone was kind of wanted to see it, to see if the jury could see it after the fact. Like, is that what we're kind of ruling on right now?
does say something to the effect
I'm a little
that the
lost
case
right
that
now.
I'm talking about is the Mallory case. So, and throughout then the course of the taping itself, there are references to other cases. Ms. Wuornos says at one point, I got it all confused. At one point, and actually this one is one that's pretty substantial. Ms. Wuornos talks about an electric razor as related to Mallory. And given the state's proof here, the state did not connect the electric razor to Mr. Mallory, but connected it to another individual.
Your Honor, I believe Detective Herzeppa told that the electric razor was given to the lady's husband who ran one of the hotels she stayed in, and that was Mallory's razor. There was also a different razor in another case. The razor being referred to was Mallory's razor.
Okay.
The hand razor wasn't electric.
Yeah, he stayed on Mallory.
Right.
There's also one portion during the recording at which Sergeant Munster is flipping what are obviously photographs relating to other individuals. I understand that it'd be difficult for Mr. Tanner and Mr. DeMore to somehow splice Sergeant Munster out of this case or out of the tape.
Sergeant
However,
Munster.
that would be the other thing that sort of relates to it. In any event, Judge, as to the references, whatever degree of vagueness or solidity they have on the tape, we renew our mutual objection. For the record, and we also renew our objection to the admissibility of the statements, Your Honor.
All right, I ratify and affirm the order of Judge Graziano orally given on December 6, 1991, reduced to writing on December 11.
Happy birthday, Carrie. That's awesome. Fuck yeah. Hey, it's actually been weirdly warm here. I was 65 here yesterday. That's so strange. Well, hell yeah. Happy birthday. Cassie's birthday is January the 3rd, and yours is even closer to Christmas. So I can only understand the struggle, because Cassie always talks about how, like, you know, she kind of gets forgotten and lost because everyone just had a big get-together and a big shit. Everybody just threw so much money down on Christmas, and they're like, oh, it's my birthday.
1991, following clerk on December 13, 1991. As to this tape, I'm not going to cut it court, and I will not reverse that ruling.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Carrie. Enjoy that 50 degrees today.
Are we ready to proceed?
Yes, Judge, just one thing about the layout. The way I observed the tape was from the jury box, just because these monitors are larger, and it was, you know, obviously that Mr. Tanner and Mr. DeMore have a certain layout here in the courtroom. It might work better to have one camera that the jury can see, because I was sitting right in the middle, I was bouncing back and forth.
You mean TVs, Mr. Knowles?
Yeah, TVs. To have one in the middle so that all the jurors can focus and observe that, instead of two with the speakers in the middle, which is kind
I've
of...
been sitting in this courtroom for 22 years, and I've never found any counsel who's ever agreed with anything that was ever done yet.
Judge got jokes. And we're going to the next one, I guess? Hold on. So the next one's also confession tapes. So... Investigator Lawrence Herzeppa is recalled to the stand. The jury watches Eileen's confession tapes. So we won't be watching a lot of this.
Sorry, next witness, please.
Your Honor, please, we have recalled Detective Larry Herzeppa.
Herzeppa, get the hell back out of here, buddy.
Detective Herzeppa, again,
Yes, sir.
the tape of Ms. previous time, news station, the editing of the original audio videotape of Ms. Wuornos' statements?
Yes, sir.
And do you recall how long the original tapes were?
A little over 3 hours.
All right, sir. Did you have occasion to participate in editing the 3+ hours of tapes?
Hey, morning, True Crown Butterfly.
Down to a tape dealing only with matters concerning the homicide of Mr. Richard Mallory?
Yes, sir.
And did you also exclude from that
See what my
editing
degree is
even
in.
generic references that may have applied to Mallory, but because they were generic, they were eliminated?
Yes, sir.
I would ask you to look at what is now State's Exhibit 6xU and ask if that appears to be the tape which you...
47 here now. That's
editing
actually
out.
pretty good.
Yes, sir.
And does that tape truly and accurately depict
And it's going to get up to 57
your
today.
conversations
It's pretty
with
good.
yours and in instances,
Fucking weird.
two other parties, conversations
it'll be
with
cold
or
this week,
statements
so.
to Ms. Wuornos at the time the statement was taken on what, January 16th,
Yes, sir.
1991?
That's correct.
If Your Honor, please, we would offer into evidence for viewing by the jury the edited and limited versions of the conversations with Ms. Wuornos only as they relate
We're not going to hear
specifically
none
to
of
the
this.
victim, Richard Mallory.
Renewing our previous objections, Your Honor.
Right, subject to the objections record, data be received and marked.
So they want the jury to see
Now,
this.
Mr. Tanner, after we should mark the evidence, let me ask some of the TV people, isn't there a plug on these things that you can click out to make it where you can't re-record? Yes, sir. Mr. Tanner, would you knock out, maybe give it to one of them and let them do it, so they know where it is?
Do we have our technical
I'd have to have my
expert?
They give it to a court TV person? Or a news
I
person?
learned during the recess we had that we were celebrating a birthday
Seems a
today,
little
and I'd
improper.
like to honor Ms. Sharon Batts on her birthday.
Oh, we got another birthday! Birthdays all around.
No prejudice, anyone from 6'9" or...
Birthday.
Your Honor, prior to play, may I ask another question or two? This is now marked exhibit number 121.
Yes, sir.
Detective Orzaba, 3 adult males appear in this tape at the time the statement was taken. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That is weird, right?
And can you tell the jury, please, who the 3 men are that appear in the tape?
Yes, sir. Myself, I'm sitting behind the desk. Mr. O'Neill, when you're looking at the viewer, will be directly to my left, and then Investigator Munster will be sitting the closest to the actual screen where he is. I believe most of his back is facing toward the video.
All right, who was Mr. O'Neill?
Mr. O'Neill is
It
the
is
public
weird.
defender.
Okay. And do you have facial hair?
Yes, sir. He has a distinct accent when he speaks.
I'm asking, does he have a beard?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There's also a woman in the tape. Who is that?
That's Ms. Wuornos.
Look at all these fucking chords, dude.
And does this tape
Come so
deal
far.
only with the conversations and the statements of Ms. Wuornos after her attorney was present?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, please, we'd ask that the state be allowed to publish the tape and play it in the jury's presence.
Subject to the objections, you may proceed.
And may the witness be allowed to retire from witness stand?
Yes, indeed.
Judge, we may have some cross-examination,
Sure.
some limited to what Mr. Tanner just raised.
Sir,
We could
do you want to do it now?
We could.
Go
We could
ahead.
watch the tape, whatever.
Go ahead.
John, whatever you want.
Might as well do it now.
Might as well do it now.
Right.
Detective Perzeppa, you indicated to Mr. Tanner that this tape,
Because in a minute, we're not going to be watching shit.
your interaction with Ms. Wuornos after the attorney showed up.
That's correct.
you were involved in looking at the original tape and taking this information and putting it in the shorter tape, correct?
That's correct.
And you did that yourself?
Yes, sir, with the assistance of Channel 2.
With the assistance of Channel 2. And is it fair to say that this tape relates what you understood to be specific statements relating to Mr. Mallory?
Yes, sir.
I think Mr. Tanner asked you what you characterized yesterday as generic statements are not included in this tape.
No, sir.
All of those things that we were talking about would not be reflected by this tape that you and I were talking about.
No, sir, not to my knowledge.
Nothing further. Thank you, Detective.
All right, you may have, sir.
I just want to play my damn tape.
Your Honor, the synopses that we talked about with the detective yesterday, he was kind enough to bring us a copy this morning. Thank you.
Again, Your Honor.
The rest of this is going to be nothing. Son of a bitch. Yeah, we can't listen to this. You can watch the jury listen to it. So here's what's crazy, right? Like, look at these ladies. I'm not no shade, right? These older ladies here, you know. I'm not exactly sure of their ages. Probably in the 60s, right? Maybe 70, maybe 65. Look at this lady. This lady's probably like 35 to 40, dressing more modestly like an older lady and giving off the vibe of being an older lady. And we gotta talk about this all the time, right? And like today we see people that, like, I'm 40, almost 40. I'm 39. Even saying that out loud is weird. Holy shit, I'm still late 30s. Oh my God, in heaven, it's setting in. The realism is setting in. But, you know, I dress like this. This is just me, you know, like a 39-year-old, my 39-year-old dad had, like, you know, he looked like a dad. Like, she looks like a mom. Like, it's just, you know, moms today, you don't know, man. It's just the way people dress. They didn't really, for whatever reason, through the internet age, we haven't really changed our attires as we got older like the older generations did. They went, I've got to be dressed more conservatively. I've got to be more modest. You know, I can't. Isn't it trippy? All right. I'm going out. I'm going out on a limb here. Crazy. Go. We're in our late 30s. Just getting in there. We're good. Everything's fine. Nothing to worry about. Oh my God. I hate that part of it, actually. That's all. It's crazy. Alright. Agreed that we can't actually do this, right? This is insane. I like that she just spoke to Sig, though. Sig's in the chat. Crush Sig's in the chat. Oh, there she is watching it. This is brutal, though. Good God. Oh, my God. There's a judge passing out. He's like, you know what? I've seen this. How many times have I seen this? I've seen this so many times. I'm about done with it myself. That joke will never get old to me. Oh my God. Woo! The jury does not seem affected. Oh my God, it's the whole video. Oh, dude, I bet they did. Oh my God.
Your Honor, may the witness step down.
Jesus
The witness
Christ.
needs to put a chart.
So where's Eppa back? Oh my God.
Deputy Wuornos, I'm going to ask you about...
Dude, I do hate we can't hear that.
I don't know, do you are prepared to testify at this time about the distances between the...
Well,
Daytona
right
Beach
side. Next week we will be starting with Aileen Wuornos on the stand. There's 2 videos back to back of that, so that's going to be interesting.
and the various scenes depicted on the chart?
I have that in my notes if I would be able to use those.
Yes, sir, you certainly may.
Your Honor, we have our continuing objection with regard to this area of inquiry. We also have a more specific objection in terms of, obviously, Mr. Tanner is now going into a new area, not into the subject matter we just heard, but we would also object in that regard.
You should have tied up Mr. Tanner.
I'm sorry, Your Honor?
You're going to tie these things together.
Yes, sir.
You may proceed. Thank you.
Deputy Wuornos, were you able to determine the distance from Daytona Beach, the Daytona Beach area, and I'll ask you where that measurement will begin, to the various scenes at which the 7 automobiles and 6 dead bodies were found?
Yes, sir.
Could we just begin with number 1, and if you would state first the distance from the Daytona Beach area to the body of Richard Mallory, and then the distance from the Daytona Beach area to his automobile, and then continue down the list until you've completed all 7.
All right, sir. I used a focal point with Daytona Beach from US 1 Highway 92, relatively the center of Daytona. I started off with number 1, where we found the body of Mr. Mallory, and that was approximately 11 miles from Daytona Beach. Number 1A, which was his vehicle, was approximately 12 miles from the area of Daytona Beach.
It's true.
Number 2, which would have been Mr. Spears on his body, we found that to be approximately 112 miles from Daytona Beach. And from there to there. The truck of Mr. Spears, which is shown here as number 2A, that was approximately 41 miles from 2A to Daytona Beach. Number 3, which was Mr. Cascade, his body was approximately here to Daytona was 9.
Looks like somebody made like a show or documentary out of it, but I can't just find the straight up videos.
The vehicle shown here is number 3A. From there to the Daytona Beach area was approximately 66 miles.
66?
Yes, sir, 66 miles. Mr. Sims, his body has not been located, but his vehicle, which shows here as number 4A, was approximately 57 miles from Daytona. The next one would have been Mr. Burris, shows as number 5. His body was located approximately 68 miles from Daytona Beach. His vehicle, number 5A, was found approximately 56 miles from Daytona. I'd like to go back in reference to Mr. Burris on the body.
Yes, sir.
Did I say 64
I
miles?
said 68, I believe.
I'm sorry. Mr. Burris was 64 miles, approximately. We then go on to Mr. Humphreys, which is shown as number 6. Mr. Humphreys' body is located approximately 68 miles from Daytona Beach. Mr. Humphreys' vehicle, shown as number 6A, that's approximately 170 miles from Daytona. Mr. Antonio, shown as, for his body location of number 7, shown as approximately 147 miles from Daytona Beach. And his vehicle shows as number 7A. That vehicle was found approximately 39 miles from Daytona Beach.
Thank you, David. Your Honor, we would also like exhibit 6 times V. For the witness, do you recognize the item?
Yes, sir.
And can you tell the jury, please, what it is?
That's an electric shaver.
And how is it connected with the Mallory homicide?
This particular razor I picked up from the gentleman who owned the Yugoslavian restaurant just down from the Fairview Motel, just north of the Fairview Motel.
Yeah, they changed days.
This gentleman gave me this razor, said it had been given to him.
Objection here, Your Honor.
Without going into hearsay, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I apologize, Judge. Without going into hearsay, did you discuss that razor with the defendant, Aileen Wuornos?
Yes, sir.
And what did she say with regard to that razor?
It belonged to Mr. Mallory.
We'd offer the razor in evidence, Your Honor.
May I have what deal on that issue, Your Honor? Detective Ms. Wuornos said an electric razor belonged to Mr. Mallory, right? When you talked to her?
I'd have to find the exact page, sir.
You did not show her the razor that's in your hands, did you?
No, sir.
You did not show her a photograph of that razor, did you?
No, sir.
Your Honor, we would object on...
We should go back to the big old
Yeah,
perm on
argument.
top.
May I expand the predicate, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Did you ask her if she gave it to the individual from whom you obtained it?
Yes, sir.
Did she verify that that's who she gave it to?
Yes, sir.
We offer the razor, Your Honor.
No further argument, Your Honor.
All right. Objection overruled.
Your Honor, we have no further questions from the witness.
You may inquire, sir.
Oh, go. That cracked me up. Hey, thank you, Sleuthy. Hell yeah, you're on the list. I got to start mailing these out.
You
We got a bunch of winners.
uncovered information as to where Ms.
I usually let a bunch build up and then I start mailing them all out at once. But yeah, it's about time, so expect something soon.
and Ms. Wuornos resided during the time period you were investigating, correct?
Yes, sir.
Came across information that they had resided in Zephyr Hills. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Got your email.
If you had plots
Nice.
and charted all these miles using Zephyr Hills instead of Daytona Beach as your reference point, the distances you described to Mr. Tanner would be different, right?
Yes, sir.
He said use Zephyr Hills and then tell me about where cars were located starting with Zephyr Hills, you'd have different distances.
That's correct.
Did you do
I actually dig his look this time, man. The that jacket and the shirt and tie combo kind of.
Yeah, can you tell us the distances from Zephyr?
Throw on a pair of serial killer glasses, and we got a motherfucking G up in here, dude. An early '90s gangsta.
No, I can't.
You also
He's here to
came
fix
across
your computer,
information
man.
that Ms. Wuornos and Ms. Moore resided in Homosassa Springs, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you do these charts and mileage and all this kind of stuff as to where cars were and all of that using Homosassa Springs as the reference point?
No, sir.
If I were to ask you if you were to use Homosassa Springs as the reference point and to tell me the mileage to where cars were found, for example, could you do that today?
No, sir.
They also lived in Rutland, correct? You came across information in that regard.
I'm sorry.
You came across information that they also lived in Rutland.
I don't recall.
How about Oleander?
Yes, sir.
And again, with regard to using Oleander as a reference point, did you chart out miles and all of that to cars using Oleander as a reference point?
No, sir.
If I were to ask you mileage from Oleander to where cars were found and things along those lines, you would not be able to tell me, correct?
No, sir.
Well,
If I would have one minute?
Yes, sir.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you, Detective.
May the witness be excused.
Your Honor, may I ask a question too long?
this is our witness forever. 2 straight streams of this guy. That
Did
is
you
unique.
determine
Kind of like
between-
Phil Spector.
We're talking with Ms. Wuornos, between December of 1989 the time when she killed Mr. Mallory, and in November of 1990, when she killed Mr. Antonio, were her usual abode, what area she usually lived in during that period of time,
Harbor Oaks area.
and that is in relation to the Daytona Beach area, and how far?
Just slightly south. It's Volusia County, just south end of Daytona.
Okay, it's really the south end of the Daytona Beach limit.
Yes, sir.
So during that year, she lived in the Daytona Beach area.
Yes, sir.
Did she indicate to you that was her primary base of operation?
Objection, Your Honor. Base of operation, Judge.
Is that where she usually began hitchhiking from as she began these forays out on the interstate?
Yes, sir.
No further question.
Detective, you're telling us that Ms. Wuornos, during your interaction with you, told you where she began hitchhiking from?
Not during our conversation in the branch jail, no.
In any conversation with her, did she tell you, did you ask her and did she tell you this is where I started hitchhiking from, or anything along the lines of what Mr. Tanner asked you?
No, sir.
The information, when you told Mr. Tanner that you had this information, what was the source of it?
From Miss Moore.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
And who did she live with for the last 4.5 years before she was arrested?
Ty Moore lived with Miss Wuornos.
Thank you. No further question. John, please, the state rests subject to the right, as stipulated by counsel, to reopen if necessary after we go through the evidentiary rejection problem.
Yes, Your Honor, there are, just as a follow-up to Mr. Tanner's statement, there are certain motions that we'd like to make given Mr. Tanner's announcement. It would be preferable, however, for Your Honor to proceed at this point, allowing us to do that shortly hereafter.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's necessary that
You can tell they're kind of preparing her to go up. So state is resting, and it looks like the first witness on the side is going to be
being
on.
a counsel statement to hear some arguments on the law that are not heard by the jury. Accordingly,
We're getting her. You can see trying to
you're going to
prepare.
take every liberty on today.
So next week we've got an interesting start, guys. You don't want to be late, and then I'll be late. But do you want to be here, baby? Next Sunday morning, Aileen Wuornos takes the stand.
Again, if anyone should converse with you or to discuss this case with you, you're notified the court's operating will be immediately initiated.
Hello, Aileen.
You're not during the time of this or any recess to view the scene where any alleged offense may have occurred. You will not listen to newspaper accounts, listen to any radio, television broadcast, or telecast activity of the trial. You're not to discuss the case among yourselves with any other person, and you will not form or express an opinion on this matter until it's submitted to you for your verdict. And with those instructions, the jury is in recess till 9:30 tomorrow morning.
Okay, so yes, we will start. How long is the first video? Ooh, 1:16 with Aileen, and then I know the very next video after is her as well. I bet they take a break and go into her. So next week is going to be awesome. It's going to be exciting. This episode was really good. I mean, we learned a lot, I think. And I don't think Aileen Wuornos did herself any favors but talked to the police. Because, I mean, no matter how you feel about it, you know, if you feel like she's been screwed over, which she was. She's screwed over by life. She's screwed over by the system, by her parents, however you want to look at it. But at the end of the day, you know, I think that, you know, they probably made the correct decision at the end of this. But I'm very excited and interested to hear what she says. Because I've heard Aileen Wuornos interviews in the past. But I'm interested to see this. I've never seen this exact interview or testimony, rather, from a trial. So this is going to be really cool. Thanks, everyone, for coming in here again. Congratulations, Sleuthy, for picking up a win this week. Everybody came through and did some donations. Thank you all so much. That's how we build wills. And, yeah, we've already got another one started, and I think we're 10 away from doing that again. Yeah, keep eyes on everything this week, whether it's on X, on the socials, on the YouTube community post, because I'm going to be giving some updates. Tuesday night will be the return of book club, so keep an eye on that. We'll probably have a show before that, of course, leading into it. And yeah, should have a show Thursday and Feral Friday also, which New Year's is, so yeah, this week, New Year's is Thursday, and I think I have that off from work, so that should be easy. And then I shouldn't have to work. I think I'm going to try to take Wednesday off, though. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Everything should be a rocking and a rolling, though. I appreciate everyone. Thank you, True Crime, for coming through here. I hope everyone, again, had an absolutely great Christmas, and I hope that you have a great New Year also. I should see you one more time before we go into New Year's, though. So come through. Thank you all so much. I love you guys. Boom. Great time with the Buzz Nation. Have a good Sunday. I'm going to go cook some food, Bassett Page. Thank you so much. Get the Discord, everybody.
Nothing to see here.